Welcome in, Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, our special productions manager, promotions manager, our assistant for the morning, Jess Frank joined. Sorry, Franklin. They all go together, Jess. They all go together. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, we are live from the Windermere Club. It is the 2022 107.5 The Game Spring Open event, rivaled, Patrick, only by the Masters. Of course, everyone knows that. But that will be taking place, not the Masters, the 2022 Spring Open will be taking place today out here at the Windermere Club. You can stop by. You can still register. You can come on out and get signed up. It's $100 per person, $200 per team. We are having two-person captain's choice teams today. And you know what? You could just stop by and say hello if you want this morning, as we are out here in Blythewood at the beautiful Windermere Club. Can't see much out of the window behind me right now because it's dark. That's how it works. But in probably about an hour and a half, we'll be overlooking the beautiful 18th green and the lake right behind us as the sun will come up, and we'll start a very fun day for us here at 107.5 The Game. So we hope you are going to participate. I will be in the tournament with my buddy Benjamin Ryan, and we will be hanging out all afternoon here at the Windermere Club, Patrick. And fun night last night, entertaining night last night, and we are now down to just one number one seed last night. Gonzaga goes down. I'm already seeing the text messages roll in as Richard weighing in. I don't know, Richard saying he's definitely not a Gonzaga fan, but the kids worked too hard to be cheated like that. He had already sent in a text message saying the officials from the Arkansas-Gonzaga game should be suspended for the rest of the tournament. They did everything they could to foul out Chet Holmgren, and they missed blatant calls on purpose, especially with Williams at Arkansas. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I saw it like that. I thought it was a fun game. I thought the athleticism of Arkansas more than matched up. He is right. Now, in Richard's defense, I don't know if this is being in someone's defense. At 7-16 yesterday, he said Gonzaga is going to beat the pants off of Arkansas. It's a bad matchup because Gonzaga is so much more skilled and Note hasn't been consistent. So Richard missed on his prediction. That's okay, buddy.
Skip Bayless agrees with him.
Skip Bayless does agree.
Because I didn't think that was the case either. And Gonzaga never really fouls. They never get in bad foul trouble. I don't know if Chet Holmgren's fouled out this year. I would be interested to know that. But I just keyword searched his name on Twitter, and Skip Bayless had an all caps tweet saying, "I'm sorry, NCAA basketball with its only 5,000 amateurish refs is a joke."
So
Chet Holmgren jumps backwards, and the Arkansas player drives the ball up into his chest, and that's a foul on Holmgren.
Can't be moving when they're impeding the way there. So it was a fun night. That one was.
Everything else is just comparing Chet Holmgren to KD at Texas.
Is that what Skip Bayless was doing the entire time?
That's what the rest of Chet Holmgren's
okay, on Twitter, yeah. So that was the first game last night, was Gonzaga and Arkansas, and it was an entertaining game. And last night, all the way around, fairly entertaining. But we do lose two number one seeds. Again, I just mentioned it. Arkansas, J.D. Note, 21 points. Drew Timme did all he could last night, but it wasn't enough for Gonzaga. Drew Timme with 25 last night. And it was interesting to hear Drew Timme's a junior. Patrick, does he translate to the NBA?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say
there's no reason for him to go to the NBA.
I was wondering about that because last night he was crying afterwards, and I know that they have a special team. And I actually, on the drive out here to the Windermere Club, was listening to Amy Lawrence a little bit on the show prior to us, and was talking a little bit. She was talking a little bit about just that Gonzaga team and how they were the kings of the regular season.
They were not even as good as last year's team.
I was going to say, this Gonzaga team.
It's the same team. They just switched their top 5 pick point guard for a top 5 pick, whatever center, you want to call it. Center, power, stretch forward, yeah. Unicorn, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know if Chet Holmgren translates right now to the NBA.
I don't know if he ever will. I would not take him. I would not draft him.
Yeah, I'm watching him, and they were
in the top 5. I would not draft him.
he's not as skilled, in my opinion, as Kevin Durant was. I don't know how much you remember of Kevin Durant.
No, I remember vividly. Kevin Durant's skilled like a point guard.
Right.
Chet Holmgren is skilled for a 7-footer.
Right. Yeah, he's a good player. We're not trying to take away from him.
He can step back, but
it's hard to imagine him being a guy that goes into the NBA and is able to make an immediate impact. But
I can't see him holding up. He's just too skinny.
Yeah, 23 minutes from him last night, 11 points. He was 5 of 9, 1 of 3 from three-point range. And again, Drew Timme, 9 of 19 last night and had 25 points. But it wasn't enough as in that opener there, Arkansas knocks off Gonzaga and secures the 74-68 victory last night in the opener. The other game on that side of the bracket, a very entertaining game, one that I just didn't see coming, Patrick. Duke, Paolo Banchero last night, 22 points, and Duke with a 78-73 victory over Texas Tech. I made it through. I made it to the final seconds when it was more than evident that Duke was going to hold on, and then I crashed. I didn't make it to the end of Arizona-Houston. We
talked about it yesterday. Thought it might be the best game. It was the worst game. It wasn't close.
Yeah, but last night, Duke moves on. So it'll be Arkansas and Duke there in the Elite Eight. And your immediate thoughts on Arkansas and Duke?
Duke is going to win the national championship.
Who did you have winning?
Gonzaga.
Yeah, okay. So now it's just.
I had Gonzaga beating Kansas.
Okay.
I threw my Final Four was still alive before last night. I had Gonzaga, Kansas, and Purdue, and Illinois was the fourth. But Duke's going to play a number 4 seed now. They're just going to be way more talented. They're going to win in the Final Four. They're going to end up playing like St. Peter's, and they're going to go to the national championship. And in the national championship, the refs are going to give Coach K every call because they don't want to be the ones to not have Coach K ride off in a national championship parade. I'm sick thinking about it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
So if you want,
I'm actually pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm probably going to bet on it because I might as well be hurting with some money.
With some money in your pocket? Okay, so if you want to harass Patrick Perrett this morning, lifelong Maryland fan, lifelong disliker of Coach Krzyzewski, Coach K, if you want to harass him, just send in your text messages this morning about how good Duke is and Coach K is. 803-404.
You would rather take, because if we're talking about the NBA draft, Paolo and Chet are going to be in that same realm. Who would you rather have?
Paolo.
Yeah, I think it's not close.
Yeah, I don't see him, and it's not that I disagree. Richard's weighing in on our text line, and it's not that we disagree that Drew Timme is not skilled or that Chet Holmgren's a bad player. I thought last night this was interesting, and a lot we'll get to this morning, but I thought this was interesting coming in, listening to Amy Lawrence talk about how Gonzaga had been the kings of the regular season. Gonzaga's a very nice basketball team, but you also, again, I take what they do with a slight grain of salt. I know that they're very good in the non-conference. They go out and they schedule strongly in the non-conference. If you look at their non-conference schedule, they didn't back down. They played Texas Tech. They lost to Alabama. They beat Texas Tech, by the way. They lost to Alabama. They lost to Duke. They played UCLA. They played Texas. It's not like Gonzaga backs up. They know the difficulties of playing their conference schedule, the West Coast Conference that they're in. They know the difficulties, so they schedule up. They don't back down from anybody. They have a we'll play anywhere, anytime kind of attitude. And again, the non-conference portion, they thumped UCLA by 20. They lost to Duke by 3. They lost to Alabama by 9. They beat up on Texas Tech by 14. They beat up on Texas by 12. So they didn't back down. But then you get into the conference play portion of the season for them, and it's just a fact. The West Coast Conference is not necessarily going to prepare you for these situations. They had the loss to St. Mary's during the regular season there at the end by 10 points. But other than that, they rolled through conference play. I'm actually looking to see the loss to St. Mary's by Gonzaga was by 10. But I'm looking to see if any of their other wins were by single digits during conference play. And I actually don't think I see any single-digit victories against conference opponents. I see a 30-point beating of San Diego, a 32-point beating of Portland. There is a 33-point beating of BYU. What is 50? A 36-point beating of Pacific. Pepperdine they beat by 20. Santa Clara they close one. They beat Santa Clara by 12. San Francisco they beat by 16. Point being is they are so far ahead, Patrick, of their conference that it doesn't really prepare them for this. And you saw last night Arkansas be able to jump on them with their athleticism and kind of hold them at bay.
Yeah, that's always kind of been the problem. They dominate their schedule, but they're kind of soft. They're kind of a soft team. Like Drew Timme is not a true center. He is very skilled. Then Chet Holmgren is just, I mean, I don't know how much he weighs, like 180 pounds. He's so skinny. He's like scarily skinny. That's why I would not take him, because there's just no way those tiny little bones are going to hold up for 82 games. Like he's going to have to sit out 25 games a year. I feel like I cannot imagine him working out in the NBA. And Drew Timme should not go pro. I would go so far as to say he's a moron if he goes to the NBA. You can get name, image, likeness deals, and he will be a star in college basketball, or he can go ride the bench and probably go back and forth from the NBA and the G League. I mean, he's good, so he'll probably be a role player, like getting 8 to 10 minutes a game, maybe in the NBA. He could probably make a career out of it, but you could be the face of college basketball and probably make a ton of money. He's sponsored by Dollar Shave Club for the tournament. I noticed that because I'm a DSC guy.
Yeah, okay.
And I get their emails, and one of them was that Drew Timme is their sponsored athlete for March Madness. Like, do things like that. Make a bunch of money in college. Graduate. Maybe by the time you're done, you can bring Gonzaga their first national championship and be a legend. But, I mean, I'm looking at a mock draft right now. It has them going 51. Guys in the second round get non-guaranteed contracts, and they usually don't work out. Usually no one outside the top 10 works out in the NBA. But I don't think he should go pro. I don't know why he would do that unless he doesn't like college. Yeah. And the same mock draft, this is USA Today, has Chet Holmgren number 1.
Really?
Yeah, and this person, his name is Brian Kalbrowski. His comment is, when it comes to the number 1 pick, the more I watch him play, the more I'm moving closer to Chet no matter what camp.
Okay.
So the ceiling is just too high to pass on Chet.
All right, no problem. Well, you can be a part of the program. We got a lot to get to this morning. We'll get into the other 3 games that took place last night. Another number 1 seed, Arizona, goes down, and we will talk about that. Obviously, there are other things to talk about as well this morning, as Lamont Paris was officially introduced yesterday at the press conference for South Carolina. I'll get Patrick Prett's take on that. I'll certainly weigh in with mine. I did hop on and do a live stream late last night because there was so much going on. Kind of had to about 8:30. I was like, seems like a good idea. And so to weigh in on the press conference to talk about the basketball. Oh, yeah. And then there was the baseball last night. And so we'll talk about Lamont Paris as our thoughts to now the new South Carolina head basketball coach. And then the other news from last night. And yes, we'll talk about it because I think contractually we have to talk about South Carolina getting beat, at least for a few minutes, 10-0 by Vanderbilt. Patrick, that face says it all. Yeah. Patrick's face was basically, I guess we have to talk about it, but if there's any way around it and we don't have to, I'd like to take that method. But South Carolina last night, 10-0, loser to Vanderbilt. A couple of you have weighed in already on the text line with you, and I agree. The crowd last night, obviously, very small over there at Founders Park. Anonymous texter saying, "Morning, crowd at Vandy game, so sad." And so yeah, it was a rough night there for South Carolina as Vanderbilt. Obviously, a very superior team last night. Those two will hook up again tonight, 7 o'clock, out at Founders Park. It was a 4-run fifth that really opened the gates, and then Vanderbilt closing out the Gamecocks in the 7th, really with a 5-run 7th on the night. Just a tough night for the Gamecocks. Not able to produce much of anything. They had 6 hits. Vanderbilt scoring 10 runs on 9 hits. Noah Hall taking the loss last night. He drops to 0-4 in the season. The Gamecocks fall to 10-11 and now 0-4 in SEC play. Vanderbilt moves to 19-2, 4-0 in SEC play. So we got a lot to get to this morning, whether it is a little bit of baseball. Obviously, a lot to talk about as it pertains to Lamont Paris and now his introduction as the head basketball coach at South Carolina. I was impressed. We'll talk about that, and I'll give my thoughts on a few other things as it pertains to Lamont Paris. We'll get Patrick's take as well. And then, of course, the games from last night and looking ahead to the games tonight as we wrap up the Sweet 16. So it's Bill Gunner, it's Patrick Brett. We are out here at the Windermere Club in Blythewood as we get you ready. The 2022 Spring Open taking place today for 107.5. The game, we've got two-person captain's choice team. So it should be a lot of fun out here. Pearson Fowler will be out here and will be along shortly. We'll have some breakfast. Our good buddy Joe Pollock has already told me he is picking up the lovely Bojangles spread that we will have this morning, and we will more than enjoy that. That should be a really good time for us as well. So a lot going on. You can be a part of the program, 803-404-6100. You can weigh in on the text line or on the Love Chevy phone lines. And you can also follow along on the Buford Lending live stream. You can look at our beautiful, pretty faces. I've got the golf shirt on today. I am ready to go. I'm fired up. Patrick's fired up. He is going to go out and start practicing for the $1 million hole, sponsored by Buford Lending, right?
How far is it?
I have zero clue what hole it is.
What clubs are in my car? I don't think they are.
It's 17. It's 17. We'll get a scorecard and we'll look at it. Okay. Yeah, Patrick's a lefty. So if you are a lefty, right?
Yeah, I'm a lefty.
Yeah, you are a lefty. Okay. I was thinking back to when we played there at Main Street there. I was pretty sure I saw lefty. So, all right. So we've got a lot to get to this morning. Again, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100, or again, you can join us on the Buford Lending live stream. Our buddy Jim Corley, the Clemson fan, is already on there trying to get himself banned, I see. Our buddy Joe there, Decor, Robin, Jerry, a lot of you weighing in on the Buford Lending live stream. DC saying Kingston's days are numbered. Anthony with a good morning. So we've got a lot to get to this morning as it pertains to South Carolina sports, as it pertains to the Sweet 16. Oh, and I'm sure there's some kind of NFL news that we need to get into.
I don't know that anything happened yesterday, actually.
Okay, maybe a quiet day in the NFL. So you get that. We've got a lot to get to this morning. A lot to get to. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
And where does he go next? Plus, we're after South Carolina's game 1 against Vanderbilt, and looking ahead to South Carolina women's basketball taking on North Carolina in the Sweet 16. Plus, a lot more on the men's NCAA tournament. 4 games in the Sweet 16 down, 4 more to go. We'll get you ready for a whole weekend of basketball coming up on the Extra Point, 9 o'clock. The Extra Point with Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central, 9 a.m. to noon on your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
One of the major keys to playing golf and playing golf successfully is getting a great night of sleep. I read it in a book one time. It was in a book. And so now I decided I needed to get great nights of sleep. In that mind, I turned to Sleep Number, and it helps me get a great night of sleep. I put that Sleep Number setting on 55, and I wake up ready to hit hole-in-ones, to drive, to hit, what is it, bombs, I believe is what Phil Mickelson calls it. I show up to the course ready to go, all because of a great night of sleep. You can do the same. You can do it today. You can come join us out here at this golf tournament. But you can also get a great night of sleep each and every night with a Sleep Number bed. Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because every great day starts the night before. It's a true statement. Trust me on that one. Very true statement. Right now, don't miss Sleep Number's weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing on all smart beds. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details. Again, this deal ends Monday. So you got this weekend to check it out. 2 stores to go to. One in Irmo on Harbison Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings. The other in Columbia, 2 Notch Road across from Sand Hills Mall. You can visit them on the web, sleepnumber.com. Again, don't miss Sleep Number's weekend special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing on all smart beds. But again, this deal ends Monday. Don't miss the opportunity to get a great deal. Make the switch to Sleep Number today and find out what a great night of sleep is truly like. All right. Which one are you? You 1 or 2?
I don't know that.
You 2?
I don't know that I trust it.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, it's a couple things that's on there, as it pertains to. I'm going to have to really be on my P's and Q's with the clock. Or I'll throw it straight to the wolves, and I can see if I can screw up the end of the hour.
6:22. We still have 2 breaks to hit.
Ain't got berries on hold.
Take in, break.
Pretty much. Take in, break, and then come back, get into Lamont Harris.
Go to BlueChew.com. Meet online with a licensed medical provider. If you're approved,
I like the styles. Leggings.
supply of chewable to BlueChew for just
Ballerina.
$5. Use the promo code
I didn't have it twice in it.
Now get it.
Should
BlueChew.com, promo code sports. Visit
Bill, how are the workouts going?
Visit BlueChew.com.
Have you
Promo code.
talked about doing workouts?
Is Robin asking that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're good. I've been working out for 4 years now, somewhere in there. I mean, COVID put a slight pause on it, but it's not like I just started back again. It's a unique combination of core workouts and just going and sitting in the sauna and listening to rap music. Huh?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Fluff their belly.
You say I flopped my belly?
Fluff.
I think it's not. I think fluffing is where you do that. This is more of ironing, smoothing out.
Okay, well, either way, my point is proven.
There was no point to be true. So you trying. Your pronunciation on chat. Bolani? Yeah.
What is it?
Bolani? Chef Bolani? Kimball?
You can't read that.
Oh. Yeah. Yes, sir. And you also.
No, we
Oh, no,
can't.
that's Fred's part. No, Fred's reading that part.
We can't make it. We can't establish a precedent that we just do that.
Forestry is a pillar of our state economy, employing more than 98,000 people, generating an economic impact of $21 million. South Carolina Forest, Bill Brewers.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Forest, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, and the station.
Spend the evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. Whenever I see your
How old is James Taylor?
70-something. Clearly, they're on a run of
74.
Joe Bonamassa or whatever the guy is. I saw his billboard up. I'm actually surprised we don't have a promo for him.
Joe Bonamassa is what? He's 44.
Who?
Joe Bonamassa?
Really?
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.
James Taylor's like twice as old as him.
Joe, he's 88.
James Taylor's 74.
Chevrolet makes you smile. Beautiful. Tickling for the ivory. Great comic films. And the music that brings us back to this night. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day it is. The annual Rite of Spring here in beautiful Whitewood, South Carolina. It's the 2022 107.5 The Game. Ring open at Windermere.
There's a reason you should be on the live stream. You would see the look of Patrick and I as we hear a brand
Unfortunately,
new
they
opener.
can't hear that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we apologize to our live streamers this morning. We are not in studio. Obviously, Jen is still out. Jen will be back next week, and so yeah, we weren't able to. We're not necessarily able to make all the things work that we normally do. But yeah, that was all right. Yeah, we are out here at the Windermere Club in Blythewood. It is the 20.
Very soothing.
That was very
I did not. I guess I didn't know what was happening.
We never know. That's why we do the show. We never know exactly what's happening. 6:27 on a Friday morning, March the 25th. Hope you're up and at 'em this morning, wrapping up the week. Again, busy day yesterday in the sporting world, the Sweet 16 taking place. Lamont Paris being hired as the new head basketball coach at the University of South Carolina, and the baseball team last night loses 10-0 to Vanderbilt. Here to weigh in on all things South Carolina related, of course, including potential Final Four run in 2024. Gamecock Larry, Patrick, is on the phone lines. Larry, how you doing this morning?
Let me tell you, I'm going to go bring you my watch. You ain't going to believe this. Out of all these games, the only one I was wrong on was at St. Mary's and then Kentucky. That's the only one I've missed so far. You ain't going to believe it.
No, I don't believe it. You're right. You don't have to tell me. I don't believe it.
Because if you lost that one, you lost the next one.
It's true.
I looked at that press conference today. Those tires sound like that you can be okay. You got to get behind it. Not be what we wanted. That's what we have to get behind it. Get behind them and stick with them. And I'm just aggravated. I think Coach Martin got that job at Massachusetts. I hope it did. But half of this team would be going up there to play with him. But as far as our baseball, I've been something around it. I mean, it's worse than basketball's ever been. And I just don't understand it. And I ain't gonna say anything for you.
No problem, UMass Larry. He is now, or should we just call him?
Yesterday, Lamont Paris wasn't the man for the job, and today, Mark Kingston's not the guy for the job.
He is. We got to work on. We got to perk that guy up.
Two coaches Gamecock Larry is content with now.
No, that's
South Carolina loses to Arkansas. Gamecock Larry might be out on Shane Beamer too.
Oh, good point. That's a good point. Stay in there, hang in there, Larry. It's Friday. You can hang in there. So 803-404-6100 is how you can be a part of the program this morning if you want to weigh in and join us. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, we are out here at the Windermere Club. It is ourselves and our production manager, our promotions manager, Jess Frank, who is just thrilled to be here with us this morning, bright and early. Again, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100.
Would it be inappropriate to turn the TV on?
No, it's never inappropriate to turn a TV on in somebody else's house or clubhouse, whatever it may be.
I am uncomfortable around TVs that are off.
Oh, are you? Is this a thing for you?
Yeah.
Like poltergeist.
And if I'm around a TV, I'll put it on and I'll put on like the news or a sports channel and just mute it. Even if I'm around doing things, if people are over at my house, if I'm over at someone's house, like I want the TV to be on.
Okay. So
and I need it to be on.
All right. So we'll check into the TV situation here for Patrick coming up
and do it
in the next break. Real quick, and we'll get more into this as we go through the hour. Lamont Paris, your initial thoughts hearing him yesterday?
I wasn't surprised, but he's likable. I liked him. I mean, I think you have to have charisma to get to this level, and I think he does. And he's going to get social media. There was interesting stories. I mean, you tweeted about him driving to Columbia. That was pretty wild. I would have never expected that for any coach to get interviewed and have to drive. But that just proves that he wanted the job. She meant for him to be the first African American coach at South Carolina. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't blown away, but I wasn't disappointed. I find him quite likable, and I think the players are going to like him too. I don't have any like kind of overarching takeaways.
Well, did it change your opinion or perception of anything? Yes.
It's the first time I've ever heard him talk.
Right. That's why. Well, actually, the first time I heard him talk was he had done a Twitter kind of Gamecock basketball or whatever, put out a Twitter, and it was him like, "Hey, Gamecock fans, let's go." Whatever he said, I forget. I retweeted it yesterday, but whatever he said. But with all that, kind of to that point. You're right. I had not gone back and listened to any interviews of him. I kind of wanted to listen. That was my first time. I kind of had just decided because obviously it's 2022, as he pointed out yesterday with social media and everything. And you could go back and hear press conferences from him, whether it was after the SoCon championship game or after the Illinois loss, whatever it may have been. You could go back and hear him. And so with all that being said, I decided to purposely wait until I heard him speak here to try and form an opinion. And that's why I ask you if anything changed your opinion exactly for the hearing him speak for the first time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess I thought he would be a little more boring just based off Gene. That's his name, right?
Yeah, Gene Haney.
I guess I thought he'd be a little bit more boring based off what he said, but no, I mean, I think he's got energy, and I think he's got charisma. I think he's going to be likable, and I think he's going to do a good job. I think he's going to be able to recruit kids here who want to play for him, and he just sounded genuine. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that there was any like headline stories or anything. I mean, Shane Beamer's opening statement basically was like people were ready to run through a brick wall after that. I didn't feel that from Lamont Paris, but I enjoyed it.
803-404-6100. I'll give my take on the other side of this. I was impressed. I'm interested to see him, but we'll talk more about this as the South Carolina makes the hiring official. Also, by the way, go back and listen. The press conference, Patrick, was entertaining, and maybe we'll get Ed. I'm not sure if you're capable of pulling the audio. I didn't even think about this. I thought about it last night, and then I didn't actually think about it again until just right now. But the interview that Lamont Paris did with Heath Klein last night was really good, very, very good, and actually a little bit more information coming out in the interview with Heath Klein as opposed to the actual press conference. He discussed scheduling, he discussed recruiting, he discussed multiple different things there with Heath, and I thought Heath did a really good job. You can go and check that out on our podcast page, 1075thegame.com. You can click on the podcast tab at the top and check that out. It was really good.
He did a lot of media yesterday.
He did. That's the unfun part, the not fun part of becoming a new head coach.
I just typed his name in on YouTube, and yeah, I mean, there's a Gamecock Insider thing. There's the press conference. He was on with Heath. I see Reggie's face out there. He did a one-on-one with Reggie. He must have just spent the whole day talking to people, saying the same things over and over again.
Basically,
it's a nightmare.
803-404-6100. It is Bill Gunner. It's Patrick Pratt. We are out here at the Windermere Club in Blythewood. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
This is 20. Coach, how are you? You can hear it now by going to 1075thegame.com.
Yeah, but I think he did 20, 40, and 50. So my assumption is this is the second one.
From your home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Tyreek Hill was officially introduced to the Dolphins. Hill now hired
Ed, the Prisma thing is Patrick's. Did he need to do that after this break, or we only have after the break? So just read it so you want him to just read it like a promo? Okay. All right, because we got one more. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's fine. Just do it that way.
That's so dumb.
No.
We have to read it off the script. I can't. Whatever.
Huh?
Whatever.
You have to read it.
I should have just stayed in studio and not come out.
What are you watching?
The Bob Ross channel.
Why?
From Ron Remote.
That was when we're watching Bob Ross channel. Alright, I'm actually familiar with this.
Does it have YouTube?
Well, it has YouTube.
When we did the shows from home every day, I was just taking walking tours of different cities every day during the show. Yeah. Yeah, they have great walking tours on
Really?
YouTube. Yeah.
You know, Monique's gone on vacation for like 2 months, from June to August, and she wants to do that same thing. Like, just she wants to get a recorder for her camera and everything, and just do like
record
walking
everything.
tours. Because like people get like 300,000 views on that.
Yeah. I would watch like the pyramids. Just type in 4K walking tour.
4K.
Yeah.
Visit them online at gatewaysupply.com. Spring out of your old car and spring into a new Chrysler orgy. Spring cleaning going on now at Galliana Chrysler Jeep on
Painful slow watching each other.
What?
Yeah, so just pick anything. There's a lot of.
For just $239 per month. Yes, a new Grand Cherokee Laredo for $239 per month. Plus, we'll give you exactly what
Venice.
your trade is worth down to the
A lot of bridges in Venice.
cosmetic issues, unreliable. At Galliana Chrysler Jeep, all trade-ins are welcome. Jeep
Now you can bring
celebration event going on now. New Jeep Compass, lease for
That's
just
okay, it's only 5
$249
seconds
per
now.
month. For new Grand Cherokee Laredo, lease for just $239 per month.
Yeah.
Galliana Chrysler Jeep on Greystone, I-126 Suez in Columbia. Call
It's like you're there.
779-7300 for Galliana SC.
I feel like I'm the adult babysitting the kids.
I'm sorry, what?
I feel like I'm the adult babysitting the kids. Do I need to say it a third time?
So we're gonna do what we're talking about first.
No. Well, yeah, I'll set you up. 6:40 on a Friday morning, March the 25th. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette. We are out here live at Blythewood at the Windermere Country Club. We are going to be a part of the 2022 Spring Open this morning, taking place shotgun start 10 a.m. and certainly should be a lot of fun. What we've been talking about, Patrick, is basketball. We've not gotten into that baseball sport, and I believe yesterday you were out practicing your last second shots, right? You got to be in good shape to be able to do that.
I am in great shape. I am excited to hit a hole in one today, and I'm excited to see everybody else out there. But golf is tough on the back. It's tough on the body. There's a lot of jerking and tough motion. So if you're coming out here today, if you have a tough swing, you need to check out Prisma Health Orthopedics in case you have any joint pain, because they are the best business, and you can get out there and you can take a free health assessment and find out if joint pain is affecting your quality of life at all. Prisma Health is the official team physicians of the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers. They have 65 specialists in 6 locations, so they can get you help anywhere and everywhere that you need it. They are the most trusted orthopedic practice in the state with a deep-rooted history spanning nearly a century. And they are leaders in innovative procedures in teaching the next generation of orthopedic physicians. They offer a full-service walk-in orthopedic urgent care clinic for all sports injuries, strains, sprains, fractures, as well as chronic joint pain. So again, they know how difficult hip and knee pain can make your daily life. So get out there, take that free health assessment, find them in person. And if you want to check them out on the web too, you can learn by visiting prismahealth.org/orthopedics.
803-404-6100, how you can be a part of the program this morning. Obviously, the hiring of Lamont Parrish yesterday, the big news locally for South Carolina as South Carolina names its 33rd head basketball coach. And Patrick,
it all developed very quickly too, or not developed, but just the announcement to the press conference all on the same day.
Yeah, I mean, I told you they'd probably give 4 to 5 hours, a little bit of time for people from Myrtle Beach or Greenville or Charleston, the media, to get into town. and do that. Initial thoughts there on Lamont Paris himself, and this is just what we do. I guess as a sports talk media, or whatever, we judge you based on how you talk, how you look, how you act in your initial press conference. You're right. After we had Gene Haney on, I believe Tuesday is when we had him on from the Chattanooga Free Times Press or Times Free Press, whatever it was. We had him on to talk about it. I had low expectations for the press conference.
Yeah.
But I thought Lamont Paris did very well. I think that he is very intelligent. He does strike me as a guy. Have you ever been around these people that are so smart? And I don't mean so smart as like they go out of their way to tell you how smart they are, but they're a little awkward in social situations. And I probably wouldn't have picked that up if not for our conversation with Gene Haney, who mentioned a couple times, like he's like, well, he's not going to win the press conference. He'll tell a joke, but you're not sure if it's a joke until he laughs.
Yeah. That's what I thought it was going to be, like deadpan and monotone. I was expecting monotone kind of just based off his description, and that's not really what it was. But you do know those people that tell a joke and it's like you have to just pause for a couple seconds, like, are you kidding? And then you kind of actually laugh. You get permission to laugh. Yeah. It's like a robot that just is reading off a joke.
It is. I think it was his initial one where he turned around and he looked at Ray Tanner right after he had gotten hired, right after he had kind of taken the podium, and he was like, and Bo Ryan has a lot of time. He was something like to the effect of Lamont Paris said, even though he's retired, he still has a lot of time to talk. It was kind of like I knew because we'd had Gene Haney on, I was kind of like, well, I know he's trying to make a joke, but I'm not sure that one landed. And then later he had another one that I think was a joke, or I wasn't sure, but he was talking about the players being in the situation, the current roster being in the situation they are, that they didn't choose to be in this situation, and they didn't get to choose their head coach. And they turned around and looked at Ray Tanner, like, I don't think they chose me. I don't. And it was kind of.
See, I listened to it on the radio, so I didn't see that he turned and looked at Ray Tanner. I just heard that, and I was like, well, I don't think. Yeah, the players didn't pick you.
So
you're correct.
But I think it's interesting to see his personality. It's interesting to see what he's going to bring to this basketball team, and obviously one of the things that I know stuck out on Twitter and on message boards yesterday, Patrick, was his description of his sideline demeanor. Look, I'm a Frank Martin fan. I know Frank. I played golf with Frank. I pull for Frank. I hope he gets the UMass job, and I hope he does exceptionally well. There's no doubt that Frank Martin's sideline demeanor was always a topic of conversation on airwaves, on message boards the last few years. And if you go back, and I did watch Chattanooga play against Furman in the SoCon championship game, Lamont Paris is going to be a complete 180 from Frank Martin in terms of sideline demeanor. And he talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, I watched the whole Illinois Chattanooga game. So I saw him and he was very calm, but yeah, I just didn't know if that was if you're coaching a 13 seed. Yeah, they were 13 seed. If you're coaching a 13 seed against a 4 and you're outmatched physically and everything, you don't want to be animated. You're not going to rip into your players. You need them to stay confident. So I was thinking, I wasn't sure if that was what his demeanor is always like, or if he knew, like, this is a big stage. They're probably a little overwhelmed by the whole scene and the fact that, Kofi Coburn's out there at 7 foot, 300 pounds, and the last thing they need is me getting in their face, screaming at them at a time like this. But I would like that if that's his demeanor all the time.
It's going to be interesting to see how he connects. I tweeted about this as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he connects with recruits, and specifically one right here in town, because I'll get into this a little bit with G.G. Jackson. This is a new era of South Carolina basketball, and they talked about that. And he talked about being yesterday. It was Judy Gaston from WIS that asked the question about him being the first African-American head basketball coach for South Carolina, but also being up for the Ben Jobe assistant now or the Ben Jobe award yesterday. And he kind of talked about the importance of it and starting a new era of men's basketball at South Carolina. I don't think that we have stated that enough. And you got this number one player right down the road who one of the draws to playing for Frank Martin was staying home and being an Asia Wilson type player. And we had obviously JoJo English on yesterday. That interview drew a lot of attention. I know it was played on both his show and on Jay and Terry's show as well. So that interview drew a lot of attention in terms of players locally staying home to play. We'll talk about that next with Gigi Jackson in South Carolina and some of the things JoJo had to say yesterday in his appearance with us. We'll continue on. It's Bill Gunner. It's Patrick Perrett. We are out here at the Windermere Club. It is 2022 Spring Open. 107.5 the game's spring golf tournament. Two-person captain's choice teams today. We are excited. We're looking forward to it. The weather is supposed to be absolutely phenomenal. Our buddy Joe Pollock is on the way with Bojangles for breakfast, so that's going to be delicious. We got our coffee. We got our golf clubs. We're ready to go. We hope you are up and at 'em. It is Friday, March 25th here, and we are at the Windermere Club in Blythewood, getting you ready for a long day, but also for the 2022 Spring Open. It's Bill Gunner's Patrick Perrett. It's the early game on 107.5 the game.
Here's what's coming up on the next halftime show. Hey guys, Jay and Terry coming up on the Friday halftime show. We'll have a little time at the golf course. Hopefully I won't be too do the live spot here, sleep on the couch after my anniversary. So it'll be all right. And I guess we'll talk basketball and baseball. Hey, instead of talking golf course and basketball, let's break down the Jay Phillips anniversary night. What's that? Happy 4th hour of our show. How's that sound? It all starts at noon. Right. The halftime show with Jay, Terry, and Tommy. Noon to 3 on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 the game.
A lot to do this coming weekend. You got to watch a little bit of baseball. You got to watch a little bit of basketball. Maybe you got some plans to golf. Whatever it may be, spring cleaning is likely not on your agenda. And that's completely understandable unless your house is extremely dirty. And then if that's the case, well, avoid the spring cleaning. Make it an easy job. Call Zero Res, 803-262-4020. Get Zero Res out to your house for their spring cleaning sale. I'm telling you what, you don't want to miss this deal with that patented ZR water technology that keeps your rugs, your tile, your upholstery insanely clean. Zero Res is who you need to keep your house clean and not have to do it yourself. And right now, you can get 3 rooms of car clean for just $109. Plus, when you mention me, Bill Gunner, and 107.5 the game, you'll get a hallway cleaned for free. Again, that is 803-262-4020, or you can schedule online. ZeroResColumbia.com is the way to do that. Again, 3 rooms of carpet clean for $109. That is a fantastic deal. And when you mention me, Bill Gunner, and 107.5 the game, you get a hallway cleaned for free. So give them a phone call, 803-262-4020. You can book online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Again, the patented ZR water technology. It does not leave a sticky, soapy residue behind. It'll make your house look beautiful, and all the neighbors will think you are just the cleanest person in the neighborhood. 803-262-4020, or schedule online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards, is the right way to clean.
Quite 180 from yesterday.
All right. So nothing 7 o'clock hour, which is good. We'll get him on at 7.
What, Deering's right on right at 7?
During today.
Who's at 7? Work. Yeah. It's not written phonetically. I'm used to.
Yeah. Oh.
Patrick, you're not golfing, are you? Okay.
He is going up. Oh, that's right. You were there for the trying to convince him with a ankle hole.
No, that was actually Terry's idea. So, but since I'm promotions director, I had to go along with it.
The ankle hole or convincing Patrick?
Both.
Are back in stock at Herndon Chevrolet. We're ready to kick the inventory shortage to the curb with new trucks
Yeah, there was no
available
chance.
now.
I mean, that would have taken until 2 o'clock. I would have got home at 3.
Yeah.
Leaving the house at 8.
Yeah.
Visit Herndon Chevrolet online
I do actually sleep less on Fridays because I need to be able to sleep after work.
For the weekend.
Yeah. I usually
You know, that's rough. My brother does overnights because he's in the military, but they switch up his schedule so much. Like his wife right now is overnights during the week. No, day during the week, and then overnights on the weekend, 7 days a week. I'm just like,
Great show, guys.
Thank you.
Wow. Really good show. Patrick, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for
It's good to be
coming out.
out here. I missed it. I don't know what was
Gotta
going
get you on
on.
the golf course, young man.
I've only ever played golf one time. 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes here.
Yeah, actually, I'm not used to having short breaks like that because it's what we normally do.
Yeah.
So I can't go wandering too far off. $6:54 on a Friday morning. What is going to be a beautiful day out here at the Windermere Club as we get ready. The 2022 Spring Open. I think that's how spring is officially defined as being here when you have a golf tournament, Patrick. And it's going to be a fantastic day out here. The sun slowly rising. We will see the 18th green here behind us within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Of course, I'm a well-known meteorologist and also, what do you call a person who knows the how the sun rises and falls? That's not meteorology.
No, I feel like that's almost more like astrology.
Astrology? Yeah, is that what that's what we're going with, astrology?
I mean,
Okay.
the sun's a star, just a big star.
There you go, kids. You don't need to go to school today. Patrick Pratt has already given you some information. Tell your parents you're just going to stay home. If you caught that, the sun is a star. We are all over it this morning on this program. Thank you for that information.
Earth is just a star, really.
Is it? I don't think so. Yeah, okay. Well, now you need to go to school, kids. Sorry, we were so close to giving you the day off, and but now you need to go to school and ask your parents or ask your teachers if Earth is actually just a star. I don't think it's a star.
I had to take one science class and I chose astronomy, thinking that I would go to like planetariums and look at constellations and things like that. And in reality, all it was like printing out a sheet, handing me a compass, and they were like, "Hey, here's the scale, here's the crater on this planet. Use your compass and this little ruler to calculate the size of that crater on the moon." I'm like, what? Where's Sagittarius? That's what I signed up for. No, it was terrible. If kids are going to USC and they want to take astronomy, tell them not to do it. That class was not easy.
Okay, that segment went really well. Don't take astrology at USC
Astronomy.
Okay, astronomy. All right. Well, you get the point. Kids, go to school. Just go to school. Don't listen to us to sit here and yammer on about sports. You'll be much better served getting and listening to your teachers today. Coming up next hour, we're going to catch up with Fred Layman of the Windermere Club. We'll talk with him about what's going on out here. We'll continue getting you ready for another day of the Sweet 16. We'll talk more about Lamont Paris, and I guess we got to mention something about the baseball team.
They weren't good last night.
As many runs as they scored is how many minutes we'll spend talking about it.
Okay.
You like that?
Done. We're done.
It's the early game. 107.5 the game. We'll be back. All right.
Yeah.
1 hour down.
Way to go, guys.
1 hour down.
Yeah, and see now this break is short too.
Huh? Who's that?
You have a full day today.
Full day, yeah, but it's just the rest is the easy part.
Yeah, it's coming out.
I think it's supposed to be really nice. What is
It's gonna be 60-ish.
That's what I was just looking at the weather.
If there's no wind, it'll be great.
Oh,
You don't want any wind.
yeah, 60, you're up to about 68 at 2 o'clock. Got an oyster roast to go to tonight. Supposed to be in the 50s. Or get into the low high 50s.
Oh yeah, it's a Friday. Can't eat Bojangles.
I wonder, you can eat Bojangles? What?
No meat on Friday.
Is that part of the Lent?
No.
Is that your decision or is that like a?
It's a thing.
Is it?
It's a thing.
I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
Yep,
Yeah, we
there's
got
a
heads
set
right
right
there.
here.
Oh, I was just thinking we're not gonna go with it. We're gonna probably be too busy.
I got you. So you're okay with the talking points?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we'll come back. Kind of set everything up. Let's see here. Did I tell? I'm gonna have Kyle call in instead of having Ed try to call him.
What time is he? 7:30?
Ish.
Nice.
Where's Jennifer? She's working from home.
She is back home. Her mom was having some procedure, so she was helping out. But yeah, even if she was here, she would have to be at studio.
Yeah,
press
yeah,
the
she
buttons,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just well, family event. She needs her family thing. So, when did she leave? Yeah, she left Wednesday because you produced. She left Tuesday or Wednesday morning and Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And I think she'll be back Tuesday.
No, she'll be back Monday.
Oh, will?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, they travel the road a lot to see her mother. I know that.
Yeah. So she will. Yeah, and I mean, I've learned. I think more so what we kind of developed with this program. It's definitely a 3-person program now. You've got to have
That's right.
with everything we've got. Friday morning, March the 25th. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrett. We are at the Windermere Club out here in beautiful Blythewood. The sun slipping up just a little bit. We covered that astrology, astronomy. I think they're one and the same, right?
No, I think astrology is the thing where girls think that your zodiac
like
sign determines your
Taurus
personality. Yeah.
I know none of that.
Where you'd say like, I'm tired in the morning, and to her response would be like, well, yeah, of course, you're a Libra.
That's Taurus or Libra. Okay, all right. We learned so much.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
We provide so much on this program as it pertains to stuff, and we're going to get to more of it here in just a minute. Fred Layman sitting down with us, and we're going to talk with him. He is the general manager, the GM out here at the Windermere Club. We're going to talk with him. Just filling you in from last night. If you didn't stay up, it was a busy night of basketball, and it involved the 2 number 1 seeds last night in the NCAA tournament going down hard. Big tree fall hard. That's exactly what Gonzaga did last night. Arkansas knocks them off 74-68, and Arkansas advances to take on Duke. The Coach K farewell tour rolls on as the Blue Devils knock off Texas Tech 78-73 there in the night game. I had Texas Tech all the way in the Final Four, so another one of my Final Four teams goes down. On the other side of the bracket, it was Michigan losing to Villanova last night. Not really a great game. I was hoping a little bit more from that one. 63-55 last night. And then the nightcap, Houston Houston's a good program.
They just pummeled Arkansas or Arizona.
Yeah. Houston, what Kelvin Sampson's done there, because he got into trouble at Indiana, I think he's always going to be tarnished a little bit. But Kelvin Sampson's a great coach.
Nobody really talks about that anymore, though.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it talked about.
And it really shouldn't be. He's a great coach, and you see what he's done. And again, he obviously had a great run at Oklahoma with Indiana. But Houston wins 72-60 last night. So it'll be Houston and Villanova on Saturday in the Elite Eight. We'll continue talking about that. Lamont Paris also hired officially yesterday. I feel like he's been hired for 3 or 4 weeks. And we've talked about it so much this week. So we'll continue talking about that. The baseball program last night. Also women's basketball tonight up in Greensboro against North Carolina. So a lot to get to this morning. But now we are joined by our good buddy, Fred Layman with the Windermere Club, as we thank you for welcoming us back out this year. A lot different. I wasn't able to be out here last year because I had a respiratory thing. I got tested for COVID about every day. That was miserable. So I was on our live stream back at the house. So I didn't get to participate. So it's been 2 years. Looks great out here.
Well, thank you guys, and welcome to the Windermere Club. We're excited to have you here on tournament day, and this next to the Masters, this is one of my favorite events. So we love having you. Missed you last year for sure, Bill. We got by without you, but we still certainly missed you. It was we're glad you're healthy though. We're glad you're back.
So we got the 2022 Spring Open today, and the really cool thing that you have done for everybody who signed up is you've offered everybody a free membership until March the 31st. Really appreciate you doing that for our players today, for everybody that has signed up, and a lot of great things going on out here for you guys.
Yeah, we love Camp Cole. We're glad to do it, and some of your players signed up early February. They've had a couple of free months membership here, and they've certainly taken advantage of it. So we're glad to have them to the end of the month. We're glad to do it for y'all and for this great event and for Camp Cole. So it's certainly a worthy charity, and I can't believe how many players you have taken off on Friday to come and participate. So that's super.
We've been out here. This will be, I believe, I wasn't here last year, but I believe this is the 3rd time we've been out here. Is that correct?
I think it's 4 times.
4 times. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yep.
My 3rd, 4th time. And every time we come out here, you guys always have something a little bit different. I think the first time I came out here, you took me upstairs and you were showing me the new weight facility that y'all have above us.
Yep.
I think you were trying to challenge me to a weightlifting competition that I wasn't going to participate in. I know you've redone the tennis courts with lighting. But the thing that we will focus on today is the new greens, G12 championship greens you guys have converted.
Very exciting. We've had a great year of growing them in and putting them in, and we, we're the only course next to Quail Hollow that has the Champions G12. So we're excited about it, but we got a lot of other things going on here as well. We've hired a new superintendent, so we're really committed to the golf course, and he's doing some projects for us here, and as well as daily operations. Chip Martin.
Good news for those greens. Patrick's not participating today.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. I played a putt growing up. It's better just the fairways because I would.
Okay, good news for the fairways today. Patrick's not playing today.
Greens, I can actually putt. I'll just literally dig into the ground every time I swing anything else.
Yeah.
Well,
we're going to get in there.
Sand bottles.
Yeah.
I will hit the ground on a drive. Guaranteed. I would do it.
He did take a chunk of the AstroTurf at the main course when we did the virtual golf about two months ago. So one of the things you guys have done that's really cool now, Patrick and I are foodies. I think Joe Pollock will be along here with some breakfast for us in just a little while. But you guys have added on to your dining experience here.
We really have. Yeah, thanks for saying that, Bill. We hired a super chef. Her name is Balan Kinlaw. And she's literally 5 stars. We've had some great success with her. We're adding to the experience here every day. And, we really, encourage people to come out and have their events here with us and their banquets and of course, their golf events. We have a great chef. We have a great experience. We have the best views in Columbia. And now we feel we have the best food.
The sun continues to come up as we look over the lake out behind us and that beautiful 18th green that you guys have, and beautiful little patio area right behind us that you can come out and kind of enjoy.
String lights are a nice touch.
I like it. It looks very, it's a great little time. And again, we appreciate you having us out here. Your buddy Tom, the director of golf, it's Graber, correct, Tom? Am I
Graber,
saying?
yes.
Okay. Everybody knows my specialty in this program is pronunciation of names. Yeah, it's where I'm
We all
giving
know
it.
that.
How's he been doing?
Tom's doing fantastic. We're really glad to have him. He's your host today, and he's the director of golf here. He oversees all the best tournaments, and we just had the South Carolina Golf Association play here, and for 2 days, and it was a fantastic event, and went off without a hitch because of Tom.
So a lot going on out here, and one of the things that you guys always do a fantastic job of, we talked about it just a minute ago with you offering players who signed up to play today a free membership until March 31st. You got other promos that are going on out here. You also, we just been in the weight room. We've talked about the great dining, the fantastic facilities. What are some of the other promos that are happening out here?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking, Bill. We really have a wonderful promotion for your listeners. You get 3 rounds of golf per month. You get a full privilege fitness membership. You get a full privilege pool membership. You get unlimited access to 2 outdoor hard courts, plus the dining for $59 a month. $59.99 per month for an individual, $79.99 per month for a couple. We call it the healthy golfer. So you get fitness and golf, and we have a great new fitness director. Davari White is just a world-class guy as well, and he's doing some group trainings as well as individual trainings.
Again, he is Fred Layman joining us. He's the general manager out here, and we are proud to once again be out here at the Windermere Club today for the 2022 Spring Open, where Patrick again is we'll get him out here. You got to get him out. All those great promotions you just mentioned, we just got to get him out here and teach him the game.
We got to get him with Tom Graber. I mean,
there you go.
He can teach anybody.
I have to play golf by myself in order to feel comfortable about it playing. That's the worst part. Playing with people and knowing I have no idea what I'm doing out here.
If you just play fast, hit the ball, play
It's
fast,
true,
keep
yeah.
up with us. We don't care where the ball goes.
So a lot going on. One of the things you're doing right now is with initiation fees, which obviously a lot of people coming back to golf, really kind of getting back out, obviously, after the last year. And the initiation fees, I'm certain is when you talk about other clubs around the Midlands is a big deal. What are the initiation fees here?
Well, what we've done with this promotion is we're going to waive it until April Fool's Day.
Oh, okay.
So you're a fool if you don't come and get in now, because we're going to waive that initiation fee, and we're going to get you here for a year, and you're going to love it, and you'll upgrade and so forth. So if you just give us a call, you can sign up over the phone or get your name on the list, or come on in and see John Peterson is our membership director. I'm Fred Layman. It's 786-PUTT. 786-PUTT.
That's how you can get in touch with them again. 786-PUTT. 786-PUTT. I don't know what those are on the number. What are the numbers? Do we know the number?
7888.
7888. Okay, there you go. So yeah, I would have never gotten that. So you get in touch with our buddy Fred. You can get in touch with John Peterson. So again, a lot going on out here. And as you move through the summer, Fred, how is course maintenance going? Because that's a big deal around here with Columbia, the heat. You've been here long enough to know it gets warm. It gets warm, and that's a big thing that you see right now when it's such a wild, to me, talking with people I know that have golf courses, trying to maintain their course, and something you guys do a really good job of when Patrick and I are not out there helping you dig a new hole in the 7th green or something.
Well, the beauty of the Champions G12 is it's a year-round grass. So it can handle heat in Columbia. That's the trouble that we had with the bent grass, is we had to grow it 6 months out of the year. And this Champions plays a lot like the bent. So we're excited. Our summers are filling up. The spring is fantastic time. And, we're doing events, every week. So look forward to a great summer.
Excellent. Got your bracket filled up? Did you fill out a bracket for the NCAA tournament?
My bracket's broken.
It's busted? Okay.
Busted, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you having us out today. Always a fun time with you guys. Beautiful. The sun is
Perfect time.
You've done a great job. Yeah, you've helped the sun rise by joining us this morning, and it looks fantastic. We were looking right before we came on. I think we said about high 60s today. Hopefully, no wind.
That's right.
You got to pick for the winning team. I haven't looked at the teams today. You want to pick the winning score here today?
I got to pick you, Bill. I think Eva's going to do well.
Okay, even. Well, the guy that's coming to play with me, Benjamin, is a very good golfer. I've got my buddies that I play with, Chad McMurray and Todd Kirkland. I had to take the best one out of our our usual foursome. So I brought the guy who could carry me to victory.
There you go.
Would the other two be offended by that? Or
That's why I'm saying it on radio. I hope they're offended. I hope they improve their golf game.
That's right.
Maybe
I mean,
they'll get invited to play in a golf tournament next time.
It's like golf is one of those sports where you just are better.
Yeah.
You can know for a fact that you're better than someone. We could play basketball together, and I could think that I was better, and you could think that you're better. But golf, like, it's not debatable, right?
You learn pretty quickly, don't you, Fred? Like once you get on the course and once you hit a drive or two and you see somebody else.
I mean, if you have a lower score, you're better.
Most of the time that works, yeah. I don't think that's always the
Not
case.
always. Otherwise, the same person would win every golf tournament.
For amateurs, you can tell pretty quickly who's the alpha male in a foursome. You know?
The beauty of this tournament is a scramble, so you don't have to take your shot
That's
on
right.
every one. You get to take your partner shot.
So how many of your shots will be taken? Will every drive be his?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hits it.
Dude.
He's a good player. He hits it a long way. So yeah, that's the reason I brought him. I don't know. I told him I didn't know.
Hate the player, not the game.
I told him I didn't know if technically because I'm a station employee if we can win. I didn't know what the rules are for employees bringing a ringer out and showing up and winning. So I wasn't real sure. So I was like,
It's like you brought in like a pro.
I'm not bringing in Roy McIlroy. He was busy this weekend. So he was busy. So we appreciate you joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
guys
you having
very
us
much.
out. Fred.
Yeah, good luck today.
Thank you. General
You'll need
Manager.
it.
Yes, yeah. General Manager Fred Layman out here at the Windermere Club as we make our fourth appearance. And we'll be catching up with Camp Cole. The people from Camp Cole will be along here shortly. They do a fantastic job. We've partnered with them on a couple different events. 803-404-6100. We will get back into the hiring of Lamont Paris. And Patrick, I think the next question becomes Lamont talking recruiting a little bit yesterday. And boy, there is a player here in Columbia that could instantly change the perception of Lamont Paris, could instantly help him jumpstart this program. We'll talk about that when we return. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great job.
Thank you. Easy to do.
You're natural. Have it up all night.
I did fall asleep. I think at about halftime of that Duke Texas Tech game, and then happened to wake up like towards the end. I was fighting. I was fighting.
I do think if you jumped in there, it would be good for the last year.
If I jumped in the patio.
No.
You jumped in the lake on 18 after you putt.
After, yeah.
I think you just jump in the lake during one of the breaks.
I didn't bring a change of clothes.
I would jump in the lake.
Okay. Probably should have just that.
T-shirts in the Hummer.
Oh, 100%.
There's some T-shirts in the Hummer. So I'll just play golf in a T-shirt. And
Yeah.
Or you throw the T-shirt on and jump in the lake.
actually, I guess I do have my workout bag in the car, but no, I'm not doing that. I guarantee that lake, it's probably not like Lake Murray, but I don't think that lake's very warm right now either.
No, I don't think it is.
Does it go back around the corner right there?
Green's right down there.
Yeah.
The green's down by that tree.
Yeah.
We get a picture of both real quick. Thank you.
Problem. All right.
Oh, what are you doing?
I feel like they just keep playing the same thing though.
Florence,
It's a big town.
oh, these things are awesome too. Just 4K aerials. Tangerine, nuts.
That time of year, time to get your taxes in order. If you're facing IRS tax problems.
These videos just make me sad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they make you want to go more, or?
No, they make me want to go more, but they kind of just make me sad because they're all places that I know I'll never probably go.
Was unaware of that tradition there.
What?
Ox for Life says when he plays here, it's a tradition to chip a ball into the lake after 18. Of course, we've missed Robin, but Robin is off to do bus duty.
My tradition would probably be to accidentally chip a ball into the
I was gonna say, yeah.
final purpose.
RL, thank you for the help there. The sun is a star, but the earth is not. So we're.
And astrology is different than astronomy.
That's what
No,
I'm.
it's not a well. It's 100% certain.
I was close.
But
I was kind of close.
stars are involved in both.
It's true.
Yes.
That's where the confusion comes in.
And space is involved in both. That's why
It's a
we
good
both
point.
have the same
It's an
root.
excellent point.
Astro.
Carlton looks like the weather is going to be good. Perfect. First track and field meet of the outdoor season today. So busy weekend there. Craig, I'm with you. Game starting at 10 o'clock. Absolute golly.
Yeah, I mean, it was going till like 12:30.
It was late. Yeah.
It was very late.
Yeah, baseball team is in a bad place. So busy morning there. Oh, you got a guy right here.
Okay, that's fine.
A worker or maintenance guy. Somebody's looking in the window. I think he's back behind me. Caught me off guard. He came right here. Kind of confused me. Morning, Hope.
Oh, I watched Jackass yesterday.
No, like the first one?
No, the fourth one. The new one that just came out.
Okay, how'd that go?
These guys never lost their fastball. So gross. I had to look away so many times.
What is an example of gross? Like, what are they?
There were, if it's an hour and a half movie, probably legitimately 5 to 6 minutes of that airtime is just genitals. Right on the TV. And I was like, oh, I can't do it.
Those guys that's something else.
No. Steve-O let like 1,000 bees sting his junk. It was crazy.
These guys are millionaires. Like, are they're
rich.
They're rich.
Really rich, yes.
And parents probably.
Knoxville was like badly hospitalized for getting back in the ring with a bull.
Getting back in the ring?
Yeah, he did in Jackass 1. And then a couple of them were recreations of the stunts they did 20 years ago, 30 years, whatever, 20 years ago, I guess. Yeah, Knoxville's like 50. They brought in some young guys, like 5 new people to the cast.
$7:22 on a Friday morning, March the 25th. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette. We are out here at the Windermere Club in Blythewood, getting you ready, getting us ready for the 2022 Spring Open here, the 107.5 The Game Spring Open taking place today. Again, the Windermere Club. You can come out and check out all the great facilities, all the great things. The sun, almost up now, but we now have a clear view back across the lake, looking at the 18th green. Beautiful facility out here, and we are ready to play some golf, talk a little Sweet 16, and Patrick, talk a little bit about Lamont Paris and the hiring yesterday. And again, as we've kind of alluded to, there is some recruits in Columbia, one in Lexington, Cam Scott, one obviously here at Ridgeview, not too far from where we're at today, and G.G. Jackson that could really jumpstart the program for Lamont Paris. And I think that's where you kind of look now. Lamont Paris, I thought the interesting thing he said yesterday, one of the interesting things was in regards to he does the coaching. His best work is done in the practice, at getting players ready for the game. Once he gets to the game, he feels like, as he said, the hay is in the barn. What are you going to do? He says he can't. I like to, again, one of the jokes, he said, I've tried to score a point in a game. I've tried. It doesn't work. Yeah. He was he said, but he said where he can compete, he doesn't get to compete in games. He doesn't. That's not really what he gets to do. But he can compete in recruiting. And he said he will not be outworked. I think he said where he went a little sideways. He said, I'm not going to leave what is a stone unturned, a leaf not picked up, and a bush not crawled under, or something like that. I was like, what is he hiding underneath a bush at somebody's house? But
wait, did he say a leaf not picked up?
I think that's, yes. I'm 97.
Who just picks up every leaf?
I don't know. Because a leaf unturned or whatever. But yeah, he's go back and look.
I need to find the exact quote.
Go back and look. But the bottom line is he's got G.G. Jackson here in town, and G.G. was G.G. A lot of the commitment, from my understanding, a lot of the reasoning he was very interested in South Carolina was because of Frank Martin. But this personality of Lamont Paris, I think, and let me know when you find that quote. I see you scouring. Okay, I'll see if I can find it in the break. But a lot of Lamont Paris's personality, I think, could fit very well with G.G. Jackson. And the opportunity, Patrick, for G.G. Jackson to stay home and still be a superstar. And again, we had JoJo English on yesterday. We talked a lot about this. Here's an exact situation. And Lamont Paris said yesterday he's going out recruiting today. He was hitting the road recruiting today. Honestly, he met with Heath Klein afterwards, and it almost sounded like he's not very worried about his staff for a few weeks. Like that was almost the impression.
One man.
He is a one-man band right now out there, and he is taking on recruiting himself. But G.G. Jackson is certainly a guy. I'm not going to judge Lamont Paris unfairly and say it's a failure if he doesn't land G.G. Jackson. But I am interested to see how this pitch goes and how that personality we saw yesterday fits in with G.G. Jackson and what it could lead to. Because, again, Frank Martin's gone. We know that. But the opportunity to stay home, to be a homegrown hero, to help change the perception of this program, that hasn't changed.
That's kind of what I would be worried about for the critics of Lamont Paris is, say he does land G.G. Jackson, are people just going to say, okay, well, G.G. was just a kid that was going to come here no matter what.
Right.
Because he was a South Carolina fan growing up, and he's from the area, and he wanted to stay close to home. So he was going to come here no matter what. Like, will people be hesitant to give him credit? Because maybe that is the case. I mean, there are some kids that just lock in. Like, that's the impression we got from Luke Doty. Luke Doty was going to come to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He's a South Carolina kid, huge Gamecock fan. He wanted to be a Gamecock. I don't know genuinely if G.G. is that. We know how excited he was at the game. We saw him actually getting into it, standing up, cheering. We heard his quotes about wanting to be the Asia Wilson, wanting to be the Clowney, like comparing himself to those people. So maybe his work isn't really cut out for him. Maybe G.G. just wants to know, like, I'll be in trustworthy hands if I come to South Carolina.
There is another prospect out there that then would be maybe a bigger recruiting coup. Okay, gotcha. But Julian Phillips is a top 50 player. I think in some publications he's a top 25 player. Julian Phillips is originally from Blythewood, where we're at out in this area today. Richard has hit us up. B from Columbia has hit us up on the text line. Julian Phillips was committed and signed, I should say, with LSU. He was here at Blythewood. He transferred out to Link Academy out in Missouri. He has since, because of the situation with Will Wade, decommitted and been able to get out of his letter of intent. He is back on the market. Julian Phillips is another guy. I had heard rumors. I'm not going to say that anything was a done deal, that he was very interested in returning home and being a part of Frank Martin's class. This was the other top 50. There was rumors another top 50 player was considering coming to South Carolina. It was Julian Phillips under Frank Martin, and Martin was going to have Gigi and Julian Phillips. Obviously, we don't know what direction this is going to go, but Phillips is back on the market and is a guy that could come in and be another instant impact kind of player.
I will tell you, nothing will make you appreciate South Carolina more than spending an extended amount of time in Missouri. And maybe that is why that is why he wants to come here so much. That place stinks. It stinks all night. So I mean, yeah, that would be a great duo. And maybe you got them both in the bag, because Gigi wants to stay close to home for the 1 year that he expects to be in college and then go to the NBA. Julian Phillips said, there's nothing going on in Missouri. Ozark, the show, is lied. It's terrible. University of Missouri is terrible. And he just wants to come out. So maybe that is the case. I mean, that would be incredible. And honestly, it would stink for Frank, because Frank's sitting there like, I was about to go get those guys too. And you know what? I got such a raw deal. I was on the precipice of a huge season. Everything was going to come together. I was going to keep Cousinar there, and everyone was like, it does feel like the team actually would have been set up pretty darn well next year if Frank had stuck around and landed both those guys. But we'll see. I mean, those two guys obviously are enormous building blocks, but then you got to keep the rest of the roster intact. If all your best players transfer and you bring in those two guys, and who's left around them is just, I don't know, who would be the end of the bench guys otherwise, then it doesn't help as much. I mean, get out there and recruit, but I'm sure he's got his priorities in order, but focus on keeping like Devin Carter here.
Well,
please keep Devin Carter here.
He mentioned, talking about meeting with the players over the next few days. And he said, some guys are not going to like me. Some guys are. Some guys are going to see an opportunity.
But did Eric Stevenson already not like him?
I think Eric Stevenson just wanted to play. It's not going to.
Eric Stevenson's kind of living my college dream
of just going to multiple colleges.
Experiencing the entire nation. I mean, he has to go next to the Northeast.
Well, that's probably where he's going.
He's from Washington. He started in Kansas.
He
got the Heartland, then came back to Washington, got the Pacific Northwest, got the Southeast, the Deep South. Now you got to go to the Northeast. Follow Frank to UMass, and then he'll come out of it with a Boston accent.
That was your college dream?
Oh yeah. If I just had unlimited money, I would go 1 year to like Florida, California, somewhere in the Northeast. Yeah, just see the whole country.
All right, that's a good way to do it. 803-404-6100. The Devin Carter thing is interesting because, again, Lamont Parrish yesterday saying we are going to be a defensive team. But he said, if you play the defense the way that I want you to play, I'm going to allow you a lot of freedom on the offensive end of the floor, that it's going to be a free-flowing system. And he made a comment, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it was basically, if they take a shot that they like, I kind of have to like it too. And I'm sitting there thinking as a former coach, like, no, you don't. Trust me. I've been there. Like, I realized as a guy who coached high-level AAU and high school ball, no, you really don't have to like every shot that your player likes. But it does seem like if Devin Carter wants to really be allowed to do things offensively, this is a system for him. I don't know if he's going to stay. Who knows how that's going to play out. A lot of people believe that he's basically got 1 foot out the door. And look, it's naive not to think that other schools are not back channeling his father, Anthony Carter, or his former high school coach or whatever, saying, hey, if Devin wants to transfer here, he's got a scholarship. Yeah. You know, if Todd Golden at Florida or Jim Larinaga in Miami, where his father's at and everything, is not already back channel saying, hey, you want to come back home to Florida? You want to come back home to Miami? It's hard not to envision that happening. But again, I kind of heard that comment about offense and thought, boy, that does seem to fit Devin Carter really well.
Devin Carter has to get the shot off. You just can't dribble in the lane and turn it
over. That's a good point.
Bad shot is still a shot, not a turnover. But if he got 1 foot out the door, I mean, he's also still got 1 foot in the door. I mean, he could have put his name in the portal already. He could have put his name in the portal. He's a kid that's not going to worry about, all right, well, my name's in the transfer portal. Hopefully the offers come. Otherwise, I'm going to have to drop down a level.
Right.
He's not going to have to drop down.
No.
He'll get a high major offer. He can go to a school. He could probably go to a better program than South Carolina. I mean, there's very few schools that probably wouldn't take him after the flashes he showed his freshman year. So it does say something that he hasn't put his name in the portal already. If he's already planning on it, maybe, but he's at least going to probably give Lamont Paris an opportunity to talk to him first, because Stevenson put his name in before or after he even met with Lamont Paris.
I don't know if he met with him or not. But
he was going to leave regardless.
I'm with you on that. Trey asks on our text message line the question of the morning, and this was not asked to Lamont yesterday, but it should have been. Trey says, all I want to know, will Lamont Paris pass to the tight end more? It's a great question, one that we don't know until the season starts.
You think he would get that joke?
I'm not 100% sure, because he started on a path yesterday about South Carolina's history, and he was able to get Frank McGuire and Alex English, and then it was like me showing up for a chemistry test or something in college and looking at the first two and realizing I got nothing here.
Oxygen.
Like, he started down a path yesterday on South Carolina's history, and it was like, I've started a sentence that I don't know how to end. And trust me, I've been there before.
Oh, the history is incredible. We got Frank McGuire, Alex English.
Long line of other players.
So many guys. Yeah, so many great players and coaches have come through here.
One of the guys he could have mentioned, not a basketball player, it's a golfer, Kyle Thompson. He'll join us next. We'll get his take on both the hiring of Lamont Paris, the Phil Mickelson news. We really haven't discussed that this week. He won't be a part of the Masters. We'll talk a little golf with Kyle Thompson. If you've got a question or you want a professional golfer's advice, maybe you're doing something wrong, send us a text message and we will ask the golfer. Kyle Thompson, former Gamecock, joining us next here on the early game. Did not flow up.
Josh, I don't know if you need your help with checking people in so that I can get on the whole.
What's up?
Hey, glad you could make it.
Definitely was going to be here at 6.
Did you wear your leggings?
I left those at home because I like to get some, vitamin D and stuff. Yeah, that's not fair. What's the Wi-Fi here?
It's the
JoshLovesVitaminD.com.
It's the snack bar or whatever, and it's TWC Clubhouse.
All in one?
Yes.
Bring your own hotspot, jerk.
There's a Cumulus.
Yeah, what is that?
It's right here. Are you gonna need to charge this if you're gonna take it out of the hole? Sure, you do. You have a generator.
Gonna need to charge my laptop.
Okay. If you want to run it across here, I can unplug mine.
It took me all day to get this thing. Every time it turns off, I have to just cross my fingers that it will turn back on eventually.
Okay.
I have to press the button a million times. I was actually thinking that I was going to have to end up going to Mr. PC on my way home today, but at the last second I got it to work.
Kind of squeaky chairs, too.
Ed, we should be getting a call. I've got Kyle Thompson calling us. Just let me know when he's on the line. Hold on. Patrick, let's see. Which one's which? Hold on, wait.
It shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, it's that one. It's that one. The one you got. There you go. Ed, you there?
Those are the things we do.
Okay, he's on. Okay, perfect. All right.
So, do we have guests in basically every segment for the rest of the show?
Huh?
Do we have guests in basically every segment for the rest of the show?
Not at the end of the hour here.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a short segment though. And then we got Deering.
And then we'll slip the Camp Cole people in, kind of. And then
I mean, we're pretty much there.
What's there, man?
We're so there.
He started canteen next week, by the way.
Sweet.
I don't have any talking points yet, because he used to do them for so long that I never really had any. But if I get some, I'll just forward them to you, or else to you so you have them a bit.
You ever done canning? Is delivered okay? You ever done canning?
Yeah. way long ago. Like that was one of my first ones, and then they stopped for a while for everything, and then came back out with heat.
His son in the course.
It's all right.
Perfect to the first.
Get out of the house.
Yeah. Patrick, that's it.
We were panicking at 1 minute.
Oh, the Wi-Fi, yeah. Bill, Benji's not coming today. They're like moving today or something. Got moved from yesterday, so his two buddies are coming. Do you want to play with those guys?
Or you put it with Joe.
Or just put you with Joe? Okay.
Oh, yes, that's the city from, that's King's Landing from Game of Thrones. That's Croatia.
Trey, I got it. I'll look and see if that's possible.
If I win the $1 million hole today, I think I'm going to Europe.
It's only $2,000.
So I'm going to cover my student loans. So another guy trying to get it, Bill.
This was a long break. Another compared to.
Oh yeah, 37:40.
I know that. You can read it. $7:39 on a Friday morning. March
7:40.
7:40 on a Friday morning. Thank you, sir. 107.5 The Game Clock. On a Friday morning, as we carry you through the 2022 Spring Open, we are out here at beautiful Windermere Club out in Blythewood. The sun is up and it looks gorgeous. And Joe Pollock, our good buddy, should be along with Bojangles Biscuits here shortly. So we are ready to go. Hopefully you are ready for a fun day as well. Joining us now on the Love Chevy phone lines is our good buddy, our professional, the guy I should have brought out here to play golf, Kyle Thompson, joining us, former PGA Tour member and former Gamecock. And Kyle, welcome in. Let's start with the Gamecock side of things this morning. Lamont Paris hired yesterday, and just your take being a former athlete, you never went through any kind of weird coaching change in golf, did you? Awesome. Well, good to, yeah, we're looking, it's in good shape now. Just give us a few hours to get hold of the course, and then we'll let you know if it's still in good shape once some of the golfers roll through. So we'll keep you updated on that. Kyle Thompson joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Kyle Thompson PGA is the way to do that. Let's talk a little golf with you for just a second. We've been a busy week, Kyle, so we haven't really had a chance to get into the Phil Mickelson news as it pertains to being out of the Masters. But just your take on that situation. We talked a lot about Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau, maybe on double secret probation or suspension or whatever it may be. But your take on Kyle Thompson, excuse me, not Kyle Thompson. That'd be odd if you were out of the Masters. On Phil Mickelson being out of the Masters coming up. Certainly makes sense, and I mean, again, it's going to be interesting. What real quick do you foresee with Phil Mickelson for the rest of the year? Do you even anticipate him being back, or at this point does he just try and hide? He's won his PGA major. He won the major last year, and that was a great way to cap his career. At this point, do you think he just hides for the rest of the year? Do we see him back at a major this year? He's Kyle Thompson joining us as he does each and every week. Next week, we'll get back to our regular format and get some lessons from you and talk about the tournament. But I do want to discuss a little bit real quickly the difference you see in playing a typical or how you approach playing a typical golf tournament where you're trying to go, what is it, the lowest to under par to win the tournament, as opposed to what we're getting right now at the WGC Championship down in Austin, Texas, where you're playing match play. How did you handle playing match play versus stroke play? He's Kyle Thompson joining us. Before we turn you loose and get you out of here, last night, another great night in the Sweet 16. We've got one more Sweet 16 night, and we're on to the Elite Eight. How's the bracket looking, and who you got now winning this whole thing? you have grizzled Patrick, who is a Maryland fan and a Coach K disliker. I'll just go with disliker. Yeah.
Magical. Black magic? Sorcery? What are we talking about here?
Just angered him. So
yeah, you did say magical. Such a powerful word.
Kyle, we appreciate you. Yeah, we get back. Enjoy your weekend, and we will catch up with you next week, buddy. And look forward to talking a little bit more golf and catching up more on what's going on in the world of sport. We will. Kyle Thompson joining us as he does each and every week. Yeah, probably should have gotten him out here to play. Maybe should have put him in my place and put him with the guy that I'm bringing, Benjamin, and let them. And then I could have been the manager. I could have just rode in the golf cart behind him and coached him or
there
caddied.
Is a line with bringing ringers, and I do think Kyle is that line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When you bring a former PGA Tour member.
I think you're supposed to bring PGA Tour players.
But if you're going for the victory, you go all out, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not my fault that nobody else knows how to bring another former PGA Tour member. And if you do know one, I would think that you would try to bring them.
Would you be salty if someone else brought in like Matt Neesmith? He just showed up and played in this tournament and won it. Would you be a little bit salty if you came in second?
No, because I would look at my partner. Knowing my game and knowing who I brought is instrumental in winning a tournament. You have to know exactly how to play these type of tournaments. And yeah, you bring in the best player you can find.
Well played.
I mean, yeah.
So just tip the cap.
You also have to look at what the prizes are and determine exactly where you're going with this. Yeah, that's a big part of that. 803-404-6100. We'll roll along here. It's the early game live from the Windermere Club in Blythewood, getting you ready for the 2022 Spring Open here on 107.5 The Game. You're listening to Bill Gunner and Patrick Perrette here. The early game on 107.5 The Game. All right. So, yeah, short segment. Chris Deering, because we're doing 3 breaks, we will do a quick Chris Deering segment. He even texted me last night. He's like, I don't have much to talk about. I was like, okay.
Talk about my players.
Huh? Yeah, he was like, I'll talk about. He's like, yeah, I'll be able to talk about Lamont Parrish and the impact. I was like, yeah, and we'll talk some football stuff.
Nice.
And then, did you tell him that people who was coming from Camp Cole, Margaret? Have we dealt with her before? Didn't we have Did we do something with Camp Cole at the Sound and Images thing?
Yeah.
No.
No, we did it. Last time we had them was Jarwood.
Yeah.
Camp Cole?
We did have them here.
Last year? I wasn't here last year, though.
Whatever year it was.
And I know we've done them. The one time I definitely remember was when we did them at Lawyer Lisa's. And John,
huge
King,
guy.
Yeah, like 7'3". Yeah. That was the one I remember.
It was cold.
Yeah. And Josh Brown.
Probably not.
Who Joe got with him?
He has.
Might just tell you to let me and Benjamin play
Have fun, RTA.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Hang out with Benjamin.
Drive safe. How far is the drive to Greensboro?
Let me take a look.
No, you're playing with it.
Oh, 7:54 on a Monday morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Brett, we are live from the Windermere Club in Blythewood, getting you ready for the 2022 Spring Opener. We're getting ourselves ready. We've had our coffee. We've got Joe Pollock coming along with donuts, with Bojangles biscuits.
You're just so used to saying donuts.
I am, yeah. Well, off air, we were talking about some other things we've done, places we've been in the past, and one of those places we always had lots of donuts, and so that was on my mind. But this morning we get some Bojangles biscuits with our good buddy Joe Pollock. So I think the last time I saw you with Bojangles biscuits, you had like 4 of them.
It was at Bojangles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You were just whatever. You had a blast.
Biscuits.
Yeah, you were having a really good time. So I know you'll be hanging around. You can come hang out with us today out here and enjoy the day. Tonight, South Carolina and North Carolina. It's time to take down those Tar Heels again, right?
Yeah. I'm curious how many people are going to be there. It's close. I've never been to Greensboro. It's close to Chapel Hill, right?
Closer to Chapel Hill than it is to Columbia.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like almost a suburb of Raleigh. I guess that's not the case at all.
Certainly would, though. We'll continue talking about that. Artia on the Buford Lending live stream heading up there this morning.
A couple people on the live stream said they're heading up, so that's what I'm wondering. Maybe it'll be a good Gamecock contingency.
We'll talk about it. Hour 3 coming up on the early game.
Did I hear you guys say
shower. It's like a prison shower.
Think again, Duke. This just says Washington.
Is there any? I heard you say you had.
Yeah. I don't know how you do things, but we bring our own coffee around here.
You didn't bring your own coffee.
I've given her enough grief that it finally worked.
Well, but just don't say that's not how we do things, because
You hear how he talks to me? He's like, "Did you bring your tights?" I don't know how you do things, but we bring our coffee, and it's neither like
you had coffee brought for you. I bring my own coffee.
Around 2-man captain's choice teams is how we will be doing things. Should be a lot of fun today. Coming up in a few minutes, Chris Deering will join us. We'll do our quarterly pools, high school highlights of the week. We will get into that with him. A couple different things to get into. One of the things we'll ask him, Patrick, is Lamont Paris, obviously the hiring, how that maybe affects in Chris's mind some of the local high school prospects, not only just local, but within the state. Lamont Paris saying yesterday, I'm not being funny when I say this. I don't know, as it was happening yesterday with JoJo English, our job, my job, I'm trying to listen and I'm trying to do our job, but I'm also trying to navigate the radio show in a semi-professional manner. And we have breaks we have to hit and time, and so I'm listening to JoJo. And it became apparent there was going to be no more questions involved.
It was a 23-minute.
It had become apparent that I was done talking for that segment, which is perfectly fine. JoJo was making a lot of great points, and I didn't want to interrupt him. And I wanted him. He had some things he wanted to get out. And it turned out to be a great segment. And we're going to get JoJo English in studio in probably next week or the week after. And we're going to continue to talk about the things he discussed yesterday. But as he was talking, I'm kind of starting to look and go, okay, we've got to do a few things here or there to make this hour work. And so I was listening, but at the same time, I was trying to navigate the radio program. But one of the things that JoJo obviously was very passionate about was recruiting the state of South Carolina. And he mentioned the teams he played on and the local prospects and everything. Well, yesterday, Lamont Paris joined Heath, doing the press conference there. And he echoed a lot of things that JoJo English said about recruiting from the inside out, recruiting the state first and then going to the outside. And Lamont Paris yesterday saying, we will recruit players in this state. We will know all the players in this state. And so I thought that was really good there as it was. It was a really great interview, but it also led to Lamont Paris kind of addressing some of that. And again, I don't know if somebody beforehand, I don't know if Lamont Paris was already in town.
Isn't that what everybody says though?
What?
No matter where you are,
I
don't care if you're the coach of the Wyoming Cowboys. You say, well, there's, people don't realize there's a lot of talent here in Wyoming, and we are going to recruit the in-state talent. We're not going to let anybody get out of Wyoming. I just feel like that's what every coach says, no matter what. Because your fan base feels like they have a ton of talent in their region. So that's what you're going to say. You're going to suck up to the fan base. And it literally does not matter where you are. If you're in South Carolina, if you're in Idaho, if you're in whatever, they're going to say, yeah, we're going to focus on here first. It's more of like a show me. Go out there, be at high school games all the time, make sure everybody knows your name, and prove it. I mean, just saying that we're going to – did Frank Martin, not say when he did his introductory press conference that he was going to recruit the state of South Carolina? That's where it's just obviously he was going to say that.
Well, the one that comes to mind, Will Muschamp said it. But talking with people, a lot of people seem to think late in his tenure he didn't do a good job with the high school relationships like Shane Beamer has. Yeah.
When he landed Jordan Birch.
Well, everybody knows, and this was Lamont Paris talking yesterday. So we're going to know more than just the top players in the country. And he made a great point. He was like, people know if you're a top player in the state of South Carolina, people in Texas are aware of you. People in California are aware of you. People across the board. I mean, he's right. G.G. Jackson, Chris Beard at Texas is aware of who he is. Mick Cronin out at UCLA is aware of who G.G. Jackson is. Lamont Paris's point is we're going to know other players in the state besides just the top players. We're going to be alert to other players that can help our program. And so I think that's where, it seemed initially Will Muschamp was going down that path. He landed guys like R.J. Roderick. He landed a Darius Rush, who was kind of an under-the-radar guy. There was a lot of prospects there. Well, then as time went on, you saw some of those guys leaving the state, getting out of the state and going elsewhere. We'll see if that kind of – I think that's kind of what you're looking for here as we move forward with this particular coach, this particular staff.
I mean, are people going to be happier is that what we want? We want evergreen classes to be all South Carolina kids? Because, I mean, there's just it's such a – the numbers are so small. You're going to miss out on James Reese's sometimes, and you're going to regret it. But also, you're going to get Devin Carter's from the Northeast.
Yeah,
it's just –
the way South Carolina basketball is now, people want to win. And to your point,
I heard Frank Martin talking about the history of New York kids coming to South Carolina. Do you want to just place less emphasis on that, even though there's kind of a history of success and a track record of success there? I mean, South Carolina's had several New Jersey kids just in the last couple of years. I know you want to focus on the state, but I mean, is that what you do? You just always defer? I guess if it's a tie, you defer to the in-state kid. I don't know. Frank knew what he was doing, and he recruited the state.
People want to win. People want. I mean, that's where South Carolina. You can have, all joking aside, your point. You can have 13 kids from across the pond.
Yeah.
And if you make the Sweet 16, nobody's going to say, "Man, I really wish we'd have had one South Carolina kid on the roster. That would have been great."
5 Lithuanians.
Yeah, just bring them all over.
Yeah,
I know.
And just let them move the ball.
Again, I think that's the truth. That's what will end up determining the tenure for Lamont Paris is winning basketball games. Getting to the – actually, let me take that back because hold on a second here. I'm trying to do two things. The bottom line is Frank Martin won basketball games. He did. He didn't go to the NCAA tournament. Lamont Paris can't win basketball games. He has to go to the NCAA tournament, and there's a difference, right?
Yeah. I mean, Frank won a lot of basketball games, but he also lost basketball games. Well, he lost to some bad teams that kept him from the NCAA tournament.
But 6 out of the last. Now, this isn't a defense of Frank Martin, but what I'm saying with the next coaching staff, Frank Martin had 6 of the last 7 years as above 500 basketball. He was winning basketball games. He wasn't going to the NCAA tournament. And that was why he is no longer the head coach at the University of South Carolina. It wasn't because he was doing what Tom Crean just did at Georgia and going, 2-16 in conference and just having an awful season. He was having seasons that were winning seasons, but they weren't winning enough. And by the way, one other thing that Lamont Paris said yesterday that I thought was really good, talking about scheduling. I started thinking ahead to next year. And I put out a tweet about this. You're familiar with basketball as much as I am. It's kind of weird that college basketball coaches can set their schedule this summer. So Lamont Paris can figure out the recruiting, figure out his roster in the next 2 months, and then he can schedule ahead based on what he's going to have. And so with all that being said, he can make some decisions here as to what they want to schedule. But to my knowledge, Clemson's at home. Georgetown is on the road. You've got the Charleston Tournament. That Charleston Tournament, by the way, looks like a lot of fun. going to find a way for us to be down there at Charleston for that thing, because you've
Shows.
got Virginia Tech with Mike Young and Penn State both in the tournament. You've got really good mid-majors in Colorado State and Nico Medved, who was mentioned for this job, and Davidson. Those are two really good mid-majors. And then we were on the Pat Kelsey bandwagon. Well, College of Charleston is going to be there, and Bob Ritchie and Furman are going to be there as well. Old Dominion's the 7 team, Southcon's the 8 team, to get the point. That tournament in Charleston is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to get a Virginia Tech or a Penn State or a Davidson or a Colorado State or a Furman. And maybe they get stuck playing Old Dominion. But those 5 teams right there, that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, you got to – how many – I'm trying to think of if the games that Frank, if he had won, it would still be here. There's – what stands out the most? Stetson?
Yeah, that one, because Stetson will always be the bad one because they were an awful team. They weren't bad. They were bleeping awful. And you had just beaten Clemson up there, and you'd gone on the road and beaten Virginia.
Yeah.
And you come home after Christmas and you lose. That's the one that will probably always stand up. Stony Brook and Boston were also not the Celtics.
Stony Brook and Stetson were the same season, right? Or was it Boston and Stetson? Either way, 2 of those were in the same season, and if you win 2 of those, you're probably in the tournament, right?
Probably.
If you beat Princeton this year, I mean, there's you could really boil it down to like a half dozen games against bad teams or teams that should be way below you that he would still have a job if he was here. So, I mean, you talk about a tournament like Charleston, it's exciting and it's fun. You got to win those games, though. You just have to.
Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Joined now for the Corley Pools High School highlights of the week, our good buddy Chris Deering on the line. And Chris, you've covered South Carolina athletics for a long time. You're as familiar with coaches and coaching searches and interviews and all the good stuff, press conferences. Your take on Lamont Paris joining South Carolina's basketball program yesterday and the press conference that was. Chris Deering joining us as he does each and every week for the Corley Pools High School highlights of the week. You mentioned Gigi Jackson, and that is certainly a name that everybody around here is going to follow very, very closely. But let me ask you about Julian Phillips, a guy who was out where we're at. We're out at the Windermere Club out here at Blythewood. He was from Blythewood High School, and this is a guy, Chris, that transferred to Link Academy in Missouri. Patrick had a great line. Maybe 1 year in Missouri is all you need to realize that home is
All I needed was one night.
that far away is a great place to be. Julian, anything you've heard on Julian Phillips? He is appeared to have gotten out of his letter of intent to LSU. He's a top 50 recruit. He's Chris Deering joining us as he does each and every week for the Corley Pools High School Highlights of the Week. Let's hit on a couple of topics here real quick as it pertains to high school athletics. Big news out of Batesburg. Is it Cathcart? Am I saying that correctly? Gene Cathcart? He is out, and yeah, get into that a little bit. Gene caught my attention a couple weeks ago when I guess he challenged basically Greg Collegiate press conference, but he's out. What's going on there with Batesburg Leesville football? Certainly kind of an interesting situation there. Let's also touch on the Prep Red Zone Palmetto Combine Series that you guys have coming out. Give a little detail on that and what exactly you're looking for, or what, or how you can be involved with that. He is Chris Deering, as he joining us as he does each and every week to talk the Corley Pools High School highlights of the week. Chris, we'll get into some baseball and some other things next week when you come back. We should have gotten you out here for the golf tournament. How's the golf game been treating you? We look forward to catching up with you here in the near future and certainly speaking with you next Friday, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Take care. He is Chris Deering joining us as he does each and every week from Prep Red Zone, and we'll talk more about those combine series that they've got coming up in the coming weeks, and we'll get back into some baseball and softball next week. 803-404-6100. If you want to weigh in on the program, it's Bill Gunner, it's Patrick Perrett. We are out here at the Windermere Club in Blythewood. The sun is up. The weather, I haven't been outside lately. I don't know anything about the weather. It looks nice.
You can tell by looking.
You can.
It's nice.
Well, it's not raining.
It wasn't that cold. It wasn't cold when we got here.
Nah, it wasn't cold. It would be a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Okay.
Do you have a spot?
No.
You just said live spot after the promo here.
What live spot? Okay. All righty. Playing some golf today out here at the Windermere Club. Got to be in good shape to play. Well, let me take that back. You don't have to be in good shape. If you saw John Daly years ago, golf really is a sport that doesn't require great shape. What it does require, though, is for you to feel just healthy. And by feeling healthy, you don't want any issues with your knees, with your hips, with your elbows, with your ankles. You get the point. You want to feel great. You want lasting relief if you've been suffering from joint pain. You want QC Kinetics, and you can get real lasting relief right now with natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. Give them a phone call today, 803-281-6860 for a free consultation. Again, that's 803-281-6860. That's how you can get in touch with QC Kinetics. It is the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. QC Kinetics has been treating patients every day in clinics across the nation with remarkable success. Absolutely life-changing results with zero downtime. So give QC Kinetics a phone call today, 803-281-6860. It is the unique protocols used by QC Kinetics that were recreated by physicians with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. So don't wait a day longer. Call QC Kinetics, 803-281-6860. Get that free consultation. Get back to living the life you want to live with QC Kinetics.
Career, then.
Y'all can talk amongst yourself. You don't have to be quiet. It's odd doing a radio show with no background noise. It's actually like when we did that sound and images thing, and you had everybody in there, and they were all.
It picks up everything in the background.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not saying go on a cursing spree or start throwing around equipment,
smashing things in the background.
Good Lord. But it's not like a church sermon where everybody needs to be quiet and you're.
Well, it's especially awkward when we're listening to a phone call and nobody's saying anything.
Yeah. Like that thing we did at the Sound and Images, like you had what, 15 people in there. And like everybody just, as soon as we come back from the segment, everybody just stopped talking and like stare at you. And I was like, I don't. Are y'all ready or you?
She is like 5 minutes away.
Okay. Is there anything in particular y'all want to talk about or?
No, we're going into our second summer, so just probably about the kids we'll be serving.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
kind of what their illnesses and disabilities and all that stuff are.
Okay.
What we'll be doing.
So what we'll probably do.
She's like a pro at this kind of thing. So she'll help.
So what we'll probably do then is
We have 2 more segments, right? Or I guess 3. 2 more breaks.
yeah, I'm thinking 3 sec this. Yeah. So probably do
Let's do something quick here.
and then break and then yeah, we'll come back. So okay.
Have y'all seen, has there ever been an Elite Eight with no 1 seeds? We have 1 still hanging on, but
I feel like there has, but I don't know that for certain.
I can't remember one off the top of my head what it was.
There've only been 3 Final Fours out of 1 seed.
3 Final Fours without a 1 seed.
Yes, I believe so.
So how are y'all doing? You're not taking this box. Obviously, you're not taking this box out there. Do you have the second comrade still? No, I'm not worried about it. I'm doing my show until 8:56, and then it's on you and him to figure out what you're doing. I was just wondering because I like the idea of putting it.
I know, you're the one who thought of it.
I think it's a great idea. It's going to kind
So
of
what
suck
are
for
you
the first
doing?
hour because
Yeah.
you're going to just be out in the wilderness by yourself. But
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
you're going to be
But
sitting at 17 by your, but then when everybody starts, do we have somebody on 17 start? Fred, have you done the, somebody starting on 17?
I think there might be.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it. Like we said,
Okay.
what, of course, I came up with all the great ideas yesterday, but like, I was like, we should have put the computer some out there to live stream it and just turn around so that when somebody plays there
Yeah.
and just throughout the day, people could tune in and
We need to talk to Adam Nance about that. He could have saved the day. He could have fixed all of this.
yeah.
So they can watch people talking about the team and not listen to me describe it.
Well,
We're back.
and again, part of it was you can talk people's backswing. I mean, that's instead of having someone there to heckle, just to be like,
Yes, you'll have a 10 o'clock.
okay, good. So you just got to sit there by yourself for an hour. Yeah, take her with you. Yeah. 803-404-6100. It is 8:28 on a beautiful Friday morning. So beautiful. And we're just throwing stuff around here at the Windermere Club. Apparently that's what we do. We just come and take over. Patrick put on a walking tour on the television earlier of where we at.
Well, this is just a 4K aerial tour of Europe. This looks like this. If I had to guess, this is the Amalfi Coast.
Okay. All right. So we have taken over the Windermere Club. Fred Layman, the general manager who joined us earlier, seems happy with us so far. He doesn't seem disappointed with what we've done. So we haven't done major damage just yet. We're going to send Pearson Fowler out to the 17th hole in a little while. He will be broadcasting from the 17th hole while people are playing. It's our new edition of the Heckle hole. Yesterday, the brains behind the entire operation here, me, suggested we should have live streamed.
Well, and naturally, you became the brains of the operation 24 hours before the event started.
These ideas do come to me at the last second. Yeah.
Or you were just not involved at any point before?
I was not involved. No. I read the promos. I bragged on Windermere Club. It's a fantastic place, and we are having an absolute blast this morning. Look forward to seeing a lot of you out here in just a few hours as we get going. 10 a.m. shotgun start. And again, it is gorgeous out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Beautiful club, beautiful facility out here in Blythewood. If you haven't come out and checked it out lately, a lot of great promotions going on. No initiation fee right now if you come and join at the Windermere Club. We're going to try and get Patrick involved in some golf here in the coming weeks. So maybe get him out here as well. 803-404-6100, how you can be a part of the program this morning if you want to join us. talked a lot about basketball tonight, Patrick. Let's get into it. We haven't talked much about tonight.
No, it's not.
But the slate of games doesn't seem as sexy, right? Like last night.
It should be. It almost should be, but it's not. Because, I mean, North Carolina, UCLA is a blue blood matchup.
It is, that's true.
But it's just not moving. You know, Iowa State, Miami, that's the game nobody wants to watch this weekend. I'm actually glad that's the latest one starting. And, you know, I do feel like St. Peter's going to get their doors blown off tonight.
Purdue.
It just seems like
12
it's
plus
about
12,
time for
minus
them.
12 and a
Yeah,
half.
because Purdue is also so big. I mean, St. Peter's is tough, but they don't have – that's the problem. That's usually where it's differentiated with these blue bloods and then Cinderellas. Zach Edey is – no one can guard him. There's going to be nobody on St. Peter's that can guard him, or they're just going to foul him every time. So I don't know. I think that last night was definitely a better slate. I mean, Providence, Kansas. The average college basketball fan probably cannot name a player for Providence. We just know like they won a bunch of games.
There's one that South Carolina fans should be able to name.
Come on. Oh, Justin Minaya.
There you go. Good job. Yeah, I knew you get it. So yeah, Justin Minaya, former.
Has he been starting?
I don't know how he has started some this year. I have not looked to see how many games he has started overall. I don't know if he started all of them. I looked that up and we'll see. I don't know if he started all of 30 some odd games that they participated in, but I think it's 34 now, but maybe 35 after last weekend. But he has played significant minutes for them. And yeah, you can see former Gamecock Justin Minaya tonight take to the court for Providence. Ed Cooley and Providence, the 4 seed against Kansas. Probably on paper, Patrick, that's the best game tonight because Providence just plays a bunch of close games. That's kind of what they do. And I feel like Kansas is due for one of those games where they just completely screw up, completely mess up, and get knocked out of the NCAA tournament.
Maybe. I mean, is that what we want now? Is if we're pulling if your bracket's completely destroyed, which mine is, I really don't care what happens now. Wouldn't it just kind of just get all the ones out? All the ones out. No one seeds make it to the
Yeah,
game.
we did this a couple years ago. I don't like that. I love the upsets, but when we get to the Final Four, I like the Blue Bloods.
Yeah, but they're gone now, so it doesn't matter.
Not all of them.
I mean, the Blue Bloods in the sense of historic programs, like if it's North Carolina and Duke in the Final Four, it'd be unreal.
I would, yes. I know that you would wear your baby blue.
That would be the best case scenario, probably.
For North Carolina to.
For television?
Oh, yeah.
For ratings? I mean, yeah, North Carolina is what are they, an 8 seed?
They're 8.
Normally you wouldn't want an 8 seed in the Final Four. But if you get North Carolina Duke, that would be insane.
That would be a wild Final Four.
And there would be a 100% chance Duke would win that game.
100%?
100%.
100%?
A 100%.
100%. You heard it here, folks. If it's North Carolina Duke in the Final Four game, be prepared. Duke's win. It's going to happen.
It will be rigged.
Apparently it's Duke and they're all the officials versus North Carolina. Real quick, tonight you mentioned that. Who do you want to see in the Final Four now? Then, when you say that,
I would like to see. I'm kind of tired of Houston, but I guess I'll take. No, I want to see Villanova.
Yeah.
Because I just like Jay Wright.
I do too.
just respect that program. I want to see Villanova play Kansas, and then I want to see Duke and UNC. That's
okay. Duke, UNC, Villanova, and Kansas. Villanova, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina. I'm with you on that. 803-404-6100. We will come back and we will be joined by some great people from Camp Cole. We've worked with them in the past and look forward to speaking with them. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Buford Landing. Yep, that's correct. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, I'll do it when we come back in as like a promo. That's no problem. Good interview yesterday. That's all right. That was really good. There he is. Breakfast guy.
That's all right. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Guy. I call him Joe.
Yeah, or Joe.
You would like to wear that shirt?
Somebody already did.
Margaret.
Margaret Dean.
Margaret Dean.
Beans with a D.
Oh, okay. So what they said to me didn't have a
Yeah, it's a double first
No,
name.
it didn't have an N in the last name. Like
Oh, no,
Dean's.
my last name is Grant. I'm Jeff Grant's,
She's a
That's
double.
right.
I'm a double
Like
first
Margaret
name.
Deans.
Ah.
Yeah, Margaret Beans, yeah.
Gotcha. Martin. So what are you doing?
Good old southern thing that everybody
I
does.
remember now,
No, Pearson did.
I can't remember where we were talking about then.
I was at the last one, that was like,
We were talking about that.
yeah, what,
Now,
and then I was at
Charlotte.
Charwood.
And I was
asked me
here this
yesterday,
one,
hey, do you
the
wanna
last,
do that?
the last one here.
Gotcha. Okay. Excellent. So,
Alright, yeah.
anything in particular you want me to?
I'll probably mention this tomorrow, and then given Oyster is coming up, and your girls saw mention that too.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, really?
All right. Oyster Road in April, second year of Camp Coles.
Yep, second summer.
So second.
Serve 1,000 campers, over the summer.
You had 1,000 campers last
No, we
summer?
had 500 this past summer, we'll have 1,000 this summer.
Okay. All right, well, good deal.
Yeah.
And that headset will work. We've already used it once this morning. I think you get us with you today.
Don't know if there's any coffee here.
What? I'm on from team.
We're not on your team, but I'm playing with you.
That's on me.
But yeah,
Oh, we're playing pairs. It's not a foursome. I mean, you.
It's Benjamin and I. We're on team, and then you and,
But the four of us don't count a score. It's
right.
not-
It's you.
It's not coffee yet.
Previous time I played with you guys, it was,
We'll get you some.
No, yeah.
I think the four of us, the two pairs teamed up as a foursome.
Right, no, it's a two-man team.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
I have 3 of the 4 teams still left in the Final Four.
What team you got?
I have Arkansas, Kansas, and Villanova.
There you go, there's your talking point.
But I had Baylor in there too, and they obviously lost.
Arkansas was a bowl call though. Hitting the 4 seed.
I know.
I mean, I had 3 of the 4 before last night. Last night was just a killer.
Yeah.
It's not even fun anymore.
And then I'm a Wofford Terrier by degrees. I picked Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Gave them the sympathy.
Oh.
That sucked. And then with the Hammond and so Chavez Goodwin has played for USC. I know Haven player, and they also gave them a sympathy pick, and absolutely.
Push them through. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll actually be at the softball game tonight, throwing the first pitch.
Nice,
Did
okay.
you find a softball there?
No, I haven't found one.
Did you play softball?
No.
Are you throwing it underhand or overhand?
I would prefer to throw it overhand, but my dad was like, "It's softball, you gotta throw it underhand."
Is that how it works? You have to throw it underhand
I don't
for
know about
softball
how.
I
first
think it
pitches?
means by principle.
By
I
principle,
believe
I
it's like-
think.
Pitching you do.
No, but if she's throwing out the first pitch at a softball game,
So it's not gonna like,
can she throw it overhand or are you supposed to throw it underhand? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think anybody's gonna.
No.
Comment
But I
if you do.
can't wind it up like they do because
No,
it's
if
gonna
you
get in the outfield.
Yeah, you'll release it at the wrong point.
Yeah, it'll be
and-
in there.
everyone's gonna be like looking up, like, watching.
Yep.
Sorry.
8:38 on a Friday morning, live from the Windermere Club. Patrick Perrette, Bill Gunner. It is the 2022 Spring Open, the 4th time we've done this, what we believe. Might be the third or fourth.
It's my first.
It's Patrick's first. That's all that matters. And it's my return. I was not out here last year. I was sick, and so I was not out here last year. So what we've been talking about this morning, obviously last night, Sweet 16 games, both number 1 seeds go down in those ball games. Arizona and Gonzaga both losing, and then obviously Duke advancing. And we will continue to talk about that. Lamont Paris obviously getting the job at South Carolina yesterday. So a lot that we have discussed there. After us, we have sent Pearson Fowler out to the 17th hole. He will be broadcasting by himself for about an hour. Pearson's got to sit out there for about an hour by himself, but he will be broadcasting from the 17th hole as people come through there. That is our Buford Lending $1 million hole today. And speaking of Buford Lending, if you've been thinking of refinancing or purchasing a home, now is the time to get in touch with Benji Getty and Buford Lending. You can give them a phone call today, 843-524-2404. You can visit them on the web, buford.mortgage. Rates have gone up just a little bit. That's going on, but it's still a great time to refinance or to purchase that home that you've been thinking about. You just need to get in touch with Benji Getty and see what he can do for you. 843-524-2404. You can visit them on the web, buford.mortgage is how you can get in touch with Buford Lending, who is also a proud sponsor of our Buford Lending live stream and sponsoring the $1 million hole today, which Patrick intends to hit a hole-in-one despite the fact that he's not even playing in the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see if he pulls that off. Joined now by Camp Cole
Co-founder and director.
Co-founder and director. Okay, yes. Margaret Deans. I'm sorry. We just
It's like beans, but with a D.
That's yeah.
Beans with a D.
Yeah. I was close. I just stumbled there because in our quick show prep, 30 seconds before we started, I got your name, and then as I went to introduce you, I was like, well, I don't know her title. I guess I'll just stumble into that one as well.
It's all right.
Professionalism at its best, and you guys are far more professional than I am, but certainly a great summer for you last year. First year doing Camp Cole, you had 500 campers come out there, and you're expecting to double that this coming year.
Yes, we are. So last summer was a great first summer. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we were able to have 500 campers out to Camp Cole with a variety of disabilities, illnesses, and life challenges. But this summer, we are completely booked, looking to have over 1,000 campers, mainly children ages 6 to 18, with a wide variety of different challenges, from girls who have been sexually assaulted and kids who are homeless to cancer, spina bifida, cerebral palsy, heart and kidney disease, children who have autism, children who are deaf and hard of hearing, you name it, they're pretty much can find a camp home at Camp Cole this summer.
Let's go back for a second. People that are just now hearing you, Patrick and I have spoke with you multiple times over the last few years. We're familiar with what Camp Cole is. For people who don't know, that are just tuning in or have never heard you talk, what is Camp Cole? What is it that y'all do?
Yeah, so we're a camp and retreat center located in Eastover, South Carolina, for children and teens, adults with disabilities, illnesses, and over life challenges. Before Camp Cole was in existence, there really was no camp and retreat center built for children with any sort of disability or life challenge. They were all built for able-bodied children, and so it was hard for them to really find a good camp home, whether it was a program or the actual camper. And so we set out in 2018 with a $10 million capital campaign, which many people said we couldn't do in South Carolina, mainly Columbia. We were able to do it. We raised over $10 million and have built a state-of-the-art campus that's completely accessible and completely inclusive. So every program that we have, every walkway, every doorway, every cabin, or medical care facility is built for children with different disabilities, illnesses, and life challenges.
How big is the staff there? Because 1,000 kids is sounds just impossible to corral and keep track of.
No, it's not 1,000 a week. It's 1,000 this summer.
Yeah.
So,
but how many will be there at any given time?
So Camp Cole in the summer will have about 25 full-time staff, not including the kitchen, and then the counselors are brought on by the partners. So we usually have about a 3-to-1 ratio. So for 10 kids in the cabin, there's usually 3 to 4 counselors. So there's a lot of adults out there and a lot of help making sure it all goes right. But we have Camp Cole provides all the program staff, so we have boating and fishing and paddleboarding and swimming in the pool and outdoor games and leadership. And we have a partnership with the therapeutic riding program, so we do horsemanship experiences. We also do arts and crafts, yoga, you name it. They're doing activities just like any other camp would.
Margaret Deans joining us this morning from Camp Cole, co-founder and director of development and marketing, and really a great story. You can go to their website, check it out. campcole.org is where you can go and visit. You can donate, and that's how you guys are able to operate, through donations and different things of that nature. So talk a little bit about how people can help Camp Cole.
Yeah, so we're always looking for people to help support our mission and help us sponsor children to go to camp. That's a big part of what we do. We also have an oyster roast coming up on April 28th. We're looking for sponsors for that, as well as just ticket goers. You can find information about that event on campcole.org and then the events tab. It'll be a really great night to have an oyster roast, live music, some raffle items, but also Camp Cole will be open for everyone to see it. I can talk about it all day, but to really see it and feel it really makes a big difference.
Again, you can go to campcole.org to check that out. If you click on events, you'll see the Happy Campers Oyster Roast. You're an oyster guy, right?
Love oysters.
Good oysters.
Me too.
It'll be a lot of fun. There'll be live music and open bar. It says tasty food, but the oyster is there. What do you put on your oysters? Are you a steamed or are you a raw oyster?
I'm a steamed kind of girl, but I love butter, hot sauce, you name it.
There you go, hot sauce. You hot sauce?
Yeah, but I'll do any. I love raw oysters, but steamed, fried, whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I literally do not care. You cannot misprepare an oyster. But some people, not everybody likes them raw. You got to get used to the texture
the sliminess.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I've told that story before. The raw oysters, I was down at a place in the Vista a couple years ago, and I didn't eat raw oysters. And it was, one of the managers there had gotten to know a little bit. It was a very kind of slow night, and the nice lady that was there was like, hey, let me explain to you why people pay like $24 for 6 oysters, because I couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, that didn't seem to really fit. And we tried all the different oysters that they had from different places up and down the Atlantic, the East Coast seaboard, basically. And I understood now brininess and texture and some of the things with the water. It's
Just Big Bay, though.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense. So go check that out. CampCold.org is where you can check that out. Again, it's the Happy Campers Oyster Roast, April 28th. Live music, open bar, always has my attention, tasty food, and real quick, if people come out there, they can look at the state-of-the-art facility. Talk about some of the facilities you have out there.
Yeah, so one of the things that really makes Camp Cold different is our state-of-the-art medical care facility. We partnered with doctors, therapists, nurses, anybody that would really give us input and build this incredible medical care facility so children can get treatment, have support that they need while they're at camp, which was something that South Carolina was really lacking. Additionally, we have a huge Castles Cafe that seats 288 that has a full catering kitchen as well as AV and a stage, and people can do presentations. We have a dock, an amphitheater. We have 12 cabins that sleep 192, and then a staff cabin as well. And then we're also building, like I said earlier, accessibility is really important to us. So we're in the process of putting in a turf field that would allow for complete accessibility. So children in wheelchairs or that have mobility issues, when they're playing with their friends, it's not a field that can have rocks or be uneven. It allows for a completely even playing field. So we're in the process of doing that right now.
Are all the kids coming this summer from the state of South Carolina?
It's actually reached a little bit beyond South Carolina now. One of our camp partners is from Georgia.
Okay.
So majority of our kids do come from South Carolina.
So is that the goal, to get people from outside the area, or is it just?
I mean, we want to serve South Carolina first.
Yeah.
Or gift to
So
South Carolina
if you're already booked.
But but there's a partner camp that we model after in Georgia. Okay. So we've gotten that's they're kind of doing Georgia. So we want to serve everybody and anybody, but South Carolina obviously is who we want to serve first. But it is reached beyond South Carolina now.
Margaret Dean's joining us. Before we let you go, again, if you want to donate, not if Margaret wants to donate, but if you want to donate to them, at campcold.org is how you go. And again, talk about it, whether it's $5 or $5,000.
Yeah, every penny counts. It makes a huge difference. So it costs Camp Cole $850 for a kid to go to camp. And so we do partner with different organizations, but we always provide a scholarship to every single camper that comes through our doors. But $5 helps us feed our kids breakfast in the morning, and $5,000 might help us keep putting in the turf field. So any dollar amount, it makes a really big difference and provides camp opportunities for 1,000 campers who likely wouldn't be able to go to camp otherwise.
Playing golf today with us?
I am not. We're going to be on a hole.
Oh, okay.
But
heckling.
Yeah, heckling, exactly right. Distracting.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Just kidding. No, I would never.
Most of these golfers like it when you throw those little the little fluffy balls at them while they're swinging. You know, the little stress balls. Yeah. Do that a couple times, see how that works.
I don't play golf. I let my husband, my dad, and everybody else do that. But I'm a cheerleader.
Wise decision. Margaret Dean's joining us. Camp Cole, a place to shine. Make sure you check out their website. campcole.org is how you do that. Appreciate you stopping by this morning and being a part of our tournament here at the Windermere Club.
Thank you so much. We're really active on Instagram and Facebook, so follow us on Camp Cole, South Carolina, and you can get all the good stuff.
I think I saw Cassie videoing the whole thing. That's why I just went hat backwards here to that way the whole face got shown and it just wasn't.
So the kids think you're cool?
I always want to be a kid, man.
Right.
Hey, if I'm their height, I may as well try and be a kid. Who knows?
And come out and volunteer with us too this summer. We're always looking for people to support with fishing, boating, Layman. So
appreciate you stopping by this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely. Margaret Deans with Camp Cole. Again, go to their website, campcole.org. We'll come back. We will wrap up this program. It's been entertaining. We started in the dark. It is now nice and beautiful outside. Heath Klein is here. The guy who put on that great interview with Lamont Parrish. Phenomenal. I like that you asked a question. We'll catch up with, I was going to say, he asked a question that I tweeted about. I feel like he did that.
The big interview with Frank. It's a big week.
It was a big interview, yeah. We carried the station. Jay Phillips and Terry Ford. I don't know what they did all week. Heath had great interviews. We had the JoJo English interview.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Heath and us
If
two
someone
are here.
else could just pull their weight in this station, like goodness.
Unbelievable around here, just unbelievable. We'll come back and wrap it up. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. I gotta do a liner that I'll pop up.
I went to high school with Pearson. Yeah, and I coached Jay Phillips and Brian Pearson. Yeah.
Making sure your heating and air unit is working properly, that is extremely important this time of year because the summer months are just around the corner. And if you're new to Columbia, oh boy, are you in for a treat. You're about to learn a lot about heat and humidity here in Columbia. Having that air conditioner working would be my advice. Don't wait any longer. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Get them out to your house, 803-677-1500. That's how you can get in touch with Roy and Dana Finley with AAA Heating and Air and get to your house. $59 is the cost for a simple inspection. Just tell them Bill Gunner sent you. And then if there is a problem, and let's hope there's not, but if there is, don't worry. They're not going to make you break the bank to pay them for a new unit. They'll offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit, then work with you. No money down, 0% financing on a brand new heating and air unit. And the best part, the absolute best part, a 15 parts and labor warranty to make sure that heating and air unit continues working properly. So don't take a chance and get into the summer and find out that heating and air unit is on the fritz. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you, 803-677-1500. That's AAA Heating and Air. Call them today and tell them Bill Gunner sent you. Fun times, good times.
An adventure, huh?
How are you?
Hello.
How'd they do while we were there?
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing?
What's going on?
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going. It's going.
Good show.
It's been good, yeah. No, cross your fingers, but yeah, I was gonna say about 3 minutes left with no internet problems, no.
Yeah, Pearson's, I feel like we're going to be crossing our fingers more.
I love the idea, the concept that we got, and I really like what I told Terry yesterday. Just I didn't really know what we were doing with him, but putting him out there at 17 instead of having a heck of hole, now you've got to go hit with him talking in your backswing, and then being able to broadcast right there. Oh well, that guy just duffed it or did something, and I said what we need to do at Charwood in August is set up a computer and live stream so that throughout the day people can just hop on the 107.5 The Game live stream and see people swinging. And then I think you could go back, then we could rebroadcast it or something. But, you know, somebody gets a good shot, you might be able to take the video and promote it a little bit.
I had a different concept, which is that you put Pearson where he's within people striking him with the ball.
You could also set him up just down the fairway.
Set him up right behind the green, and then you have your choice. You either play for the hole or you play try.
Instead of the $1 million hole in one, it's just
if you can hit
$1,000 hit Pearson.
Put a helmet on him.
Yeah.
We're good for liability.
It'll bounce off his hair.
Yeah. So it's going good. Y'all doing okay?
Yes.
It could be like the Tom boys hit Pearson one drive.
Kinetics, a new script. I'll send it to you today.
Okay.
I'll get it done as soon as we get back.
We'll get it. I think Jen's back Monday, so anything I need to cut will get cut next week. I think we'll have like a minute and a half when we come back. We kind of got jammed up at the beginning because we didn't get Chris Deering on right away. We didn't get Chris Deering on right away, so the first segment ended up being like 5 minutes longer. So we'll have about a minute and a half when we come back. Get you in, and
if you want to, you don't
just
have
couldn't
to.
figure out how to get Darren.
I don't know if I told him to call. I don't know if he did. And then I had to call him. I'm not sure what, there was some kind of miscommunication with getting him on the line. And I wasn't asking, I didn't want to ask Ed to do too much. So I was like, Kyle called in and I told Chris to call him so that was the easiest thing to do. But so like, yeah, we didn't get Chris on until 8:11. Final minute and a half here of the program, and we are joined now by the golfer of the 107.5 family. he is our golfer. Yeah, he's kind of like our John Daly, I guess. I mean, you're out there, right? You go out there with your heaters and the mullet, and you're just out there whooping up the crowd. And
that's baby. Now, you know the things I did. I played high school golf. I think I am the only person on the station who actually played on this high school golf team.
Jen did.
Jen did.
True. Yeah, Jen did.
I learned something new. I think I am the only person then that is a male at the station who played on their high school golf team, and I haven't played but one round of golf since high school. So that's make of that what you will.
There are listeners then that say you're more than qualified to talk PGA Tour.
That's true.
Like, you can't talk football. You know nothing about football, Klein. You never played football. PGA Tour, you're all over though.
Yeah. The thing about it though is, bless those of you who can enjoy this game, because it just made me so mad. That's why I stopped playing.
He's glitching.
I can't hit a good shot and just enjoy it. If I hit a bad one, I go full Hulk on it. I can't do it. Bless you guys who can go out here and have fun today.
You hit a bad shot, you go back to the cart, you take a sip of your bourbon, you go hit the next bad shot. You know what you do after that? Take another sip of bourbon. Say you play golf.
I just don't play golf.
Okay. All right.
It's easier that way.
It's a good group we've got here. Great interview. I wish we had more time. Apologize. We expect you at 6 a.m. on Monday to join us.
We'll get right on that.
It's been a lot of fun. Big thank you to Fred Layman, to everybody out here at the Windermere Club. Patrick, we've done a good job. Go hit that hole in one now.
I'm going to hit the road.
There you go. We're out. Later. I don't know how we're transitioning. They are out there with another box, right? With another Comrex. They're out on 17. Are they? Is he plugged in? Is he going straight to? No clue. Okay. Ed, I appreciate it, buddy. I guess you got Pearson on the other. Edward. Okay, if you already got Pearson, I guess I'll sit here and make sure we've got Pearson hooked up just in case we need to. Hold on, let me know when you've got Pearson. Or I wonder if I have to log off.
Nah, he should be able to.
Okay.
All right, live stream. Everybody have a great weekend. Sorry we did a phone call. It was kind of messy. We'll be back to normal on Monday.